Yeah. Entertainment. Yo. I'm the man in charge, triple dip justice. My reach is large, indicting Rex arms, they on display. Short reach, big mess on a public way. Yo, adjust your antennas, tune in tight. Posse the bench, I'm the Lord tonight. Be so high, they touch the sky. The joke ain't over, just watch me fly. Adjust your antennas, tune in tight. Posse rules the bench, I'm the Lord tonight. Be so high, they touch the sky. The joke ain't over, just watch me fly. Yeah. Advanced years, wisdom stacked. Try me once, no turning. James Jackson ordered, case dismissed. Kasi cheek strikes, you won't resist. Yo, yo. Order in the court, the rhythm pounds. Justice echoes, breaking bounds. Prosecutor by day, mic in hand by night. Adjust your antennas, I'm the signal, alright. Antennas, tune in tight. Kasi rules the bench, I'm the on tonight. Be so high, they touch the sky. The joke ain't over, just watch me fly. Yeah, adjust your antennas, tune in tight. Kasi rules the bench.
Sense. That's just what it comes down to. It just don't make no sense, because then, so they just show up, they find a body. Then let's just say the ambulance shows up. No matter what, that ambulance, the time they to try to get on the gurney and all that shit, it's going to be about 15 minutes. So let's just say 10.
This is last night, by the way.
5, 10, 10. So let's say around like 10, 15. Hey
everybody, thanks for coming.
When did they take her out?
I want to say, yeah, they must have taken her out around 10:15.
I'm about to block. Hey, Free Kelsey, if you keep talking shit, I'm about to block you. Right? I'm on that type of time tonight. I'm just going to time people out for talking shit. So 10:20?
Yep.
10:20. So if they so 10:20. So that means he left at 10 o'clock.
Yep.
Man, that shit don't make no sense. That means if he left Boston at 10 o'clock, he gets there at 10:15. He still didn't leave yet. When did he get the call? That means he got the call at 10. He got the call at 10 o'clock at night. Why does he say 9:45? Trying to understand that. Look at her taking it all serious, Free Kelsey. These people take it so serious. They chirp at you, right? They'll chirp at you, right? And then when you chirp at them back, they get all emotional. Calm down, Free Kelsey. We've been going at it for 7 hours. You just jumped in the chat. If you weren't here for the full 7 hours, if you haven't been here like we all been here going through this, then don't jump in here like you're part of the conversation.
When you think about it, when you think about, him telling you that he was there. Oh, yeah, I was there.
This fucking clown, dude. This clown, bro. This clown, dude. See, yo, get out of here, will you, bro? How long you been lurking for, bro? Where were you July 23rd, 1995? Where were you? You were in PC. That's where you were at. Fucking clown.
It was a long
Hit him
time
with
ago.
that.
Nah, he's a clown, dude. Can't stand that dude. I don't even know why he couldn't wait to say something.
No, I'm trying to get caught up on the Eddie O'Brien case from 35 years ago. I'm trying to listen to the presentation, and he starts, going after one of his biggest supporters. I said, she's just asking questions. I mean, that's what they say, right? I mean, It's good for the goose. It's good for the Randall.
He couldn't even wait. It's like these guys, man. Like, yo, Free Kelsey's my friend, man. Like, you don't even know what you're talking about, bro. Like, it's like they sit there and they troll, man. Go draw some more pictures of us, bro. Go write that shit on your wall, bro. Make a t-shirt. Go make some money. We don't care about you, man. Like, go hang with somebody else, man, you weirdo.
How rude.
Goofball.
Go talk to your cup at Honeydew.
Oh, Kev roasted me there. I got to give him credit.
That's what I call irrelevant.
Just a weird dude, man. I never seen this guy. We haven't said a word about nobody, right? So this guy goes on all these other channels. Yo, they talk shit about everybody. That's why we talk shit back. But yet we haven't said a word about you, and you're doing live streams drawing us. And we haven't said a word about you.
I mean, I will have to give my man a little bit of credit. They weren't, it's kind of unprovoked, the whole drawing thing. But I blame the other Mary B. She made me do it. I mean, she forced me to do it.
And then you come in the chat. That's how weird you are. You're just a weirdo, PC, rat, piece of shit. And we will bump heads one day, me and you.
Oh, no.
One day we will. So take that how you want to take it. You got options. And we know what you're going to do. You're going to walk the other way because you're a clown.
Yeah,
So
we'll
beat
see.
it. He's just waiting for content. That's all he does. He's going to clip
All
it.
they want to do. That's all they want
That's
to
it.
do. They have nothing else to talk about.
That's it. Got nothing to talk about.
Yeah, everybody's beating me up.
It makes them relevant, man. It's when you're not talking about them or you don't mention
Try
it,
you. Dude,
know?
I don't have to try. You're a PC, bro. You was in Bill Ricker House of Correction in PC, bro. Bill Ricker, it's all on paper. Your punk ass.
It's
your
all
full
on
name,
paper.
PC'd.
We'll show the
Protective
paper. What are
custody.
you waiting for?
I don't have to try you. Them are just facts. You're a PC. A guy that acts like you is a PC. That's what you're doing now. You're PC'd up. Try you. What are you going to do? Go hug your cat, will you?
Well, I do. I love my cat very much. Thank you. And I will. But it's called the hole. Okay. That's what it's called because of the nature of my charge. Look it up.
Go back to bed.
I wasn't in bed. I was watching your show. God.
So why would he at 9:55? So that means if the cops got there at 9:55, why would he say 9:45? And then that means he was in Boston he would have had to get the phone call at like 10:05. And then he would have to show up at the scene by like 10:30. And then that would be impossible. He wouldn't even be able to get on the street. So he's trying to serve two purposes. He's trying to be like, he's trying to serve two purposes. Like he's trying to get there early.
All right. I don't know what he said after that. It was kind of funny, man. Oh man, never gets old. All right. You guys want to finish this video here that we started yesterday? I kind of sped it up so it's quicker. And then I want to start looking into some of the other people. Every one of them is a very interesting story. So all right, let's go over here.
That Jim Woodward conference, invite only, exclusive ship. It was basically Jim Woodward's grad students presenting for the mock effect, and it was
For those that don't know, PC stands for protective custody. They claimed Turtle Boy was in PC because people that check into PC usually are scared, or they're like, they got weird charges, like they're, PDFs or firebugs or something like that. See, Randall forgets, like I went on his show and I told him I went to jail in 91, 92, something like that. I think I was 18 at the time. And told him I went to the hole for 30 days. And I told him that, but he thinks he found out about that on his own and that it's PC, protective custody. But okay, Randall, that's fine.
Martin Taymor's grad students presenting against the mock effect. And
If
then it
he's
was
got the
spook fucking
paperwork,
city,
I hope he
and that was
shows
the
it.
whole conference.
But he won't
basically.
because he doesn't have paperwork.
Nope.
And paperwork
Spook
is
fucking
PC.
city. And
Why
like
would
that's
it?
where I met Jan Horzan, and he's like, "Hey,
Paperwork
here's
is
my
just
room
shit
number.
like that.
You should come have a slumber party with me. Kissy face, kissy face."
He actually told me he was going to that conference after I pestered him about anti-gravity in Jersey.
When did you see him in Jersey?
I got it on video. I sent it to you.
Okay, that was last year.
The audio is a little bit low, but check out that video of me asking him about anti-gravity. It's one of the pictures I sent. One of the videos.
In,
It's like 12, 13 minutes.
in that same show, when he said he was also in Bill Ricker at the time. Of course, he was in the behind the wall, you know what I mean? But he was there for, I don't know, I think he said like a long time, like 4 years or something like that. I can't remember, but I was in PC, I remember. You don't remember. You didn't even know me, dude. What are you talking about?
Minutes long. You got to turn up the volume too.
Jan's like my buddy. He contacts me every 3 months just to see if I'm still single. Basically, that's my relationship with Jan. He's like, "Are you still single?" Kissy face. Like, you're the one. You should disclose. I believe in you. I'm your biggest fan. Kissy face. That's my relationship with Jan. I don't know. I can't make this shit up.
Yeah, and Nan even tried to flex on me.
Anyway.
So I said something to her, and she's like, "I don't think I can trust your opinion. You've been incarcerated before." I'm like, dude, your hood booger friends, that's all they talk about. So.
Yeah. Is that the recent one or the old one? Is it the one where he talks about like,
Right.
he's like, the scientist comes in and he's
yeah.
smoking a pipe. And he's like, I won't say the guy's name because you're not supposed to smoke a pipe in the lab. But he talks about how the pipe smoke like went over the experiment and there's like a vortex in the smoke. Is that the one you're talking about? Oh shit. I recall.
Yeah, this is a little aggravating to get through without the other guy talking, but you guys know from yesterday he cut himself out.
Shit. I remember. In 2000, let me think. In 2004, my dad tried to get me to do the Podkletnov experiment for the science fair. And I was like, LOL.
Wait, are you talking about the scientists? They're in federal protection? Is that what you're saying? I don't know if that's what you're talking about, but I mean, aside, the ones that are missing, like including the general, is that what you're saying? I don't know.
LOL, I'm going to do gene therapy and biotech now.
Really?
And then I went on to spend a decade in biotech. And now I'm back on the fucking anti-gravity, man. They pull me back in.
Michael Sala?
No, she goes for what's
Yeah, the
hard.
YouTube channel?
I have no idea.
Gene therapy is a lot harder than anti-gravity. Anti-gravity is less sophisticated than GPS. That's why I keep on telling you, we're the only planet that got internal combustion engines running with GPS systems.
Anti-gravity is a gross misnomer. It's really super misleading. The term anti-gravity is really super misleading, barking up the wrong fucking tree, totally wrong, misleading. Fucking Tony.
Riker, is there a YouTube channel associated with that name?
Okay. So this is my life. So my dad was the technical lead of the Advanced Propulsion Lab at NASA Marshall. Again, the propulsion capital of the world. And I was a little, yeah, okay. So I was a little autistic girl, and I was listening to my dad moan and complain about NASA being inefficient and about how we could like do anti-gravity if they fucking funded us for my entire life. My brain is wired from birth, my entire development. My brain developed under the conditions of listening to the technical lead of the Advanced Propulsion Lab of NASA Marshall, the propulsion capital of the world, complain about how no one was funding him and he had great ideas.
Website, but you don't know.
That is how my brain formed, man. So like, I know some shit about this shit. So like, where are the others? I know them all. It's all canceled. Prototype is the first in the world. Again, I said it. It worked the first time you turned it on exactly how you expected it to. Cancel, scrap metal, cancel, scrap metal. It's like, it's the story of my life. And
you got too close to figuring it out.
Turns out it wasn't canceled. Turns out they took it a level deeper.
Whatever she's doing. The episode is that link.
So, Mark, what's this information? What specifically?
I watched the Stephen Lee Harlow one. That's the first one I watched.
True, but not true. Yes, yes, let's know.
He's pretty good.
Who's he affiliated with? I really don't know. I don't seek this stuff out. I just want to know.
Richard Dolan.
Richard Dolan, okay. Who else?
Richard Dolan's basically a historian, but Stephen Greer is more like a producer. He brings in the emotion. He makes a watchable product. That's why I think Stephen Greer is the way to go. You have Jeremy Corbell, who created, that bullshit with Bob Lazar, who really wants to work with Amy. And I don't think that's the right path because, to be honest, Jeremy Corbell's last thing was complete and utter bullshit. It's just like.
So just a little background. The other guy that you can't hear speaking, I watched that one too. Needs some as the other guy that you can't hear, the guy that owns this video, this Jeremy guy. He's the guy that went on, what was it? It used to be Concrete Podcast or something like that. I forget the dude's name. And he's like a young guy, and he's like, yeah. Bob Lazar is full of shit, and like, I don't know how he knows all this, but I didn't really like the guy. And he's the other guy that you can't hear in this video right now. This guy obviously doesn't believe Lazar either.
Bullshit.
Basically, what we're doing over here is we need to stop.
No. Pause. Travis Taylor. I have a steak in my mouth. I'm sorry. Travis Taylor is from Huntsville, Alabama. He is a NASA Marshall Redstone Arsenal fucking rocket scientist. He's friends with my technical advisor, Tim Pickens. Tim Pickens. Is he? I don't know.
Guys, let's keep the discussion on producers.
No, that's what I'm saying. No, hold on. Just a sec. Travis Taylor is the legit rocket scientist. He has a great reputation. He's a smart man. He came off dumb.
He is.
No.
But I think he kind of messed his credibility up when he went on Age of the Aliens and became like part of the cast on there. Probably gave him a lot of money, I'm sure.
Pause. Travis Taylor in Skinwalker Ranch was playing the role of the everyman.
What that? Hold on.
What's going on? Question. Dumb. No. Pause. Travis Taylor in Skinwalker Ranch was playing the role of the everyman, the straight man. What's going on? Question. That was his role. He was given that role. He understood that role.
Does she know
and he executed it. He's not dumb. He's a legit fucking rocket scientist.
God. These worlds are overlapping. He's
not. He was playing a character.
Get calling all beings on the phone.
Travis
right
Trailer,
now.
whatever, I can't say it, in Skinwalker Ranch on the History Channel, he was playing the role of the audience, the straight man.
You got it a little bit.
The audience. If
Skinwalker
you've seen
Man.
Arrested Development, Jason Bateman is the straight man. I don't know if you've seen it. Jason Bateman is the straight man. He's the one sane person in the whole show. Travis Taylor represents the audience, and he asks the questions that the audience would ask, and that is his only reason to be there. And he knows it, and he does it willingly for a paycheck. No, he's from here, like Rocket City Rednecks. Do you know what Rocket City Rednecks is?
Trip.
Sure.
Jason Bateman. I think she mispronounced it. Cheryl, real quick, this is one of the people that were in high level, high security scientist roles that have gone missing or
sorry, go ahead.
dead under weird circumstances, and she is one who is dead under weird circumstances.
Script, paycheck, script, paycheck. Straight man represents the audience, script, paycheck.
That's absolutely true. Thank you.
I'm sorry. Yeah. So he did a show for, I think it was the Travel Channel, called Rocket City Rednecks. And it was literally about rocket scientists in Huntsville, Alabama. This dude,
from 40 years ago. You know what I mean? I'm just trying
the
to.
rocket scientists in Huntsville, Alabama, are in fact the most advanced rocket scientists in the world. They are in fact also huge fucking rednecks, and it's hilarious as fuck. It's hilarious as fuck. And the Travel Channel made a show about this. I think there were 2 seasons, and Travis Trailer was like the VIP, like main character of that show. But like I have this other friend, Tim Pickens, and Tim Pickens was he was the head of propulsion for Bigelow Aerospace, Advanced Research, whatever, Bigelow. And then before that, he was the head of propulsion for Virgin Galactic, Richard Branson, Spaceship One, whatever. But before that, he started at NASA Marshall on Redstone Arsenal in Huntsville, Alabama. And before that, his father trained under von Braun, and his father came to the Advanced Propulsion Research Lab at NASA Marshall, Huntsville, Alabama, where my dad was technical lead, and he would fucking test spark gaps and shit.
Did you say Higgins? You wrong.
Tim Pickens' dad. So like, I can give you the intergenerational. There's Paperclip 1.0, that's von Braun and his peers. There's Paperclip 2.0. Those are the scientists trained by von Braun and his peers, aka my dad. There's Paperclip 3.0. That's the millennials that were trained by the people that were trained by von Braun, and that is me.
I said it to them a bunch of times.
MIT is Spook City. They work with SRI.
Like
if I see, oh boy, if someone approaches me from MIT,
she hasn't been abducted.
I'm like, what's your SRI? What is your SRI connection? How? If someone approaches me from MIT, I'm like, but how do you know how? And why are you talking to me? That's MIT. It's crazy. No, Huntsville's like this weird little time warp of propulsion advancement. We don't do anything else. Huntsville, the stereotype of Huntsville, Alabama, is like your daddy's a rocket scientist. Fuck you, join the club. Your daddy's a rocket scientist. Fuck you, join the club. That's Huntsville. It's like you go to networking events. You go to networking. No, it is. It is. So if you talk to the people in the know, like I talk to, they will tell you that there is an estimated 5,000 foreign nation state agents in Huntsville, Alabama. Would you not suppose that perhaps there's one domestic nation state agent per foreign agent in Huntsville, Alabama? Guess what? The population is only barely it's barely over 100,000, man.
Well, Nunya, Von Braun
over 100,000 people
one of those.
And there are 5,000 foreign nation state agents. They're bartenders.
When we kicked the shit out of Germany in World War II, we made a deal with them and we got their best scientists. So that's how we kind of got him.
They're medical device
salesmen. And, you know, it makes you wonder if some kind of deal has gone on, you know, but who would we be giving our best scientists to? It doesn't really make sense. Seems in-house to me. Oh, so she was abducted by a human? No. She's dead, Mo. She's dead. In 2022. But they were fucking with her, you know, big time before that, and that's basically what this video is about.
They work at a restaurant. They work at your doctor's office. Their sole purpose is to go to the bar and sit there and listen to you talk while you're drunk. That's it. Period. There are 5,000 foreign nation state agents here, and all they do is go to the bar and listen to you talk while you're drunk. That's their job.
You know that happens, right? I mean,
they will roofie you.
Shoot yourself in the
they
back
will threaten
of the head
you. They will follow
3 or 4
you.
times.
They will get information out of you one way or another. Yeah. The ether tells you that. Mm-hmm.
Mo, listen. They found her unalived, and I don't know why I'm saying that. They found her dead in 2022 by air quotes suicide.
It says the fascinating world of graph theory. The fascinating world of graph
So
theory.
that's all I'll say.
Name a topic. I have it. What?
She was 34 years old.
Arthur Benjamin Gary.
And I read the thing, the precursor to this yesterday. She said, "Listen, if I show up dead, I didn't kill myself."
Hold on.
Yes. Exactly.
What do you mean by nothing? Clarify.
She knew too much. She knew way too much. They used what she needed her for. She got a little dangerous, and they're like, "All right, she's got to go." Along with some of these other ones, I don't know about every single one of them, but.
Space and subspace. Y'all chat for a minute. Let me look for a book about nothing on my bookcase. Y'all chat for a minute. Let me see what I got. Let me see what I got.
She knew this was going to be. It was just a Zoom call. And
no, don't put pressure on me. Chat without me. I'm looking. Yeah, I'm a nerd. Oh, see, I just found it right there. Okay. %. 0% slash 100% equals infinity equals nothing.
Everybody knows that.
DNA.
Oh, I was muted the whole time. I didn't realize that.
You were talking.
Yeah, basically, we are the finite to God's infinity. That's
She did say that, yeah. Isn't it a show about nothing? Unless there's a book reference.
the way I like to look at it is we're all basically vectors.
These guys here, yeah, these guys
direction toward a certain reality, and what we think about, we bring about. So what you're thinking and what you're concentrating on is what you want to create. And recently, I've been concentrating on anti-gravity technology. That led me first to Jeremy Riss, because you're one of the
little nerdy. I mean,
and like through your videos, by going public, people actually posted in the comments. You haven't been reading all your comments because I found everything that I know about anti-gravity through the comments of your videos. Amy was
this guy here and the other guy,
and I got that through a response to a comment that I made on one of our videos. And also the Alzheimer's experiment was also a comment on one of our videos.
It'll come.
Yeah. So that's why we make such a great team. You're the caller. You're making
the other guy, Mo, besides this guy, that's how we found the guy that
I had to take off the contact form on my website.
And the guy that cut all of his audio out of it. So that's why we're getting weird gaps in the audio. He didn't want any of his questions to be out there. So he took all of his audio out, left hers in, left the guy that you see here in the white T-shirt left his audio in, but took his out and then said, "Oh, a glitch took his audio out." Oh, okay, sure it did. Yeah, the other guy is basically
It's exciting.
in the
It's
dark. You don't
novel.
see him much.
Thrilling. I feel thrilled. Yes. Dude.
But we need to get to the other level.
No.
And after we do this, I wanted to. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Mo. So
Here's my experience with that. My Hell 5 talk, it's the Huntsville, Alabama L5 Society. It's like the weirdest, like retired NASA, like they have spooky stories that about like weird shit, like UFOs and time travel and weird shit, like retired NASA, whatever, Marshall, Redstone, Huntsville. So like that's my favorite party to crash. Like I love to crash a Hell 5 party. It's awesome because I show up. It's awesome. I show up. I'm the only woman there. And I'm less than 40. And the dudes lose their shit. They lose their shit, man. They lose their shit. I'm a woman. I'm under 40. And they have heard stories about my dad.
yeah, her
They're
father
like,
was
Richard
very
Eskridge, fuck, he's crazy.
big
I've heard
into
stories about him.
anti-gravity,
Like I've literally been at networking events
science.
and I'm in line just for an event or whatever. And I talk to a random NASA person and he knows the name Eskridge. And he's like, oh, Richard Eskridge, he's a crazy motherfucker. He's like, he gave me a spectrophotometer this one time and I took it home and I opened the box and a snake crawled out of it.
Oh.
That's a real story I heard. That's a real story. And like I go to these networking events and they're like, Richard Eskridge, you're Richard Eskridge's daughter. He's fucking crazy and he's fucking smart. But so I crash the Hell 5 parties all the time. And man, my contact form on my website is like you said, it filters for the quality people.
What's her name?
Oops, the problem with that. It's mostly it is the majority of it is nation state mother. No one knows about you except the people who want to know. AKA, so Galactic Greg is the founder of the Hell 5. He's been the founder of the Hell 5 for like 25 or 30 years. He's got this awesome beard. He started this YouTube channel.
Jeremy, what are they going to hire you to do? You're doing what you're good at. What are you good at? That's the real question.
You do it all for free. Let me comment on that. The biggest problem with really smart motherfuckers is they solve one really big problem. They get a pat on the back and they rest on their laurels forever. I'm really smart. I'm a smart motherfucker. I'm a genius. I solved this famous problem. I published this paper. I got a Nobel. Dopamine, reward complex in my brain. Dopamine, reward. And they rest on their laurels. You know what they do with their stories, people? Cancel. Dopamine block. They get the ideas from you. They get the design. They get the prototype that works the first time you turn it on, and then they cancel it and they take it a level deeper. Because the fact is, it's a waste of your time. If you're a problem solver, if you solve impossible problems, it's a waste of your time to optimize a problem you've already solved for application. So what they do, you solve the impossible problem, and then they cancel it in the white world. They move it a level deeper. They optimize it for the secret application, and they give you a new problem, and then they cancel it. And then they give you a new problem, and then they cancel it. And they psychologically abuse you into seeking the dopamine of the satisfaction of reward.
On
and
the
they
other
use you as an
woman
idea
that
factory.
was
That's what they do
missing
to their smartest people. Because if they reward you with success, rest on your laurels. I'm so fucking smart. I never have to try again.
Something like
But if they
30
cancel,
feet behind them,
you're constantly trying to prove yourself.
disappeared off the face of the
You're
earth.
constantly trying to solve the next problem. Because the last problem, you solved it, you didn't get recognition. So the next problem, you're going to solve it again, even faster, even harder to get recognition. They cancel it again. They give you another problem. You still have no satisfaction. You keep trying.
Why are you trying life, liberty, and the pursuit of dopamine?
No, they psychologically abuse their smartest people. They've done it to us.
They're squeezing them. That's what they're doing.
They squeeze them. True. Here's a problem, solve it, cancel. Here's another problem, solve it, cancel. Prove yourself.
Amy, that's what your body's doing to you. You always need dopamine.
Hush. They have all these geniuses that are constantly trying to be like, damn, I've worked at NASA for 40 years and nothing I've ever done in my entire career has been deployed. Cancel, cancel, cancel. I need to try harder on the next one, harder on the next one,
Yeah,
or my
by the
career is a failure and
way,
I've wasted my entire career.
Most of the scientists, most of them, are from like NASA, JPL. Oh, sorry about that pause. I didn't
Being a
mean to do
genius.
that to you.
Guess what? All
Oh.
of those ideas got
Okay, there you go. Jet Propulsion Lab, a bunch of them. So that's pretty strange.
applied and optimized for the secret space program, motherfucker. You never saw the success. You never got the satisfaction. You never got the pat on the back. You never got the dopamine. And it means that you work harder, harder, harder on the next problem to prove yourself. So your career isn't a waste after 30, 40
No, she's,
years.
I'm sorry. No, she's legit smart.
That's what they do in
100%.
Huntsville, Alabama. They psychologically abuse you into solving problems forever.
At this point, God, I can't help. At this point, she'd been drinking, whatever, drinking and smoking weed. Because, I mean, if you saw the stuff or knew what she knew, you probably would too, or worse. But she definitely said if she shows up unalived somewhere, she didn't do it. She didn't do it to herself. She made that very clear.
Idea factory.
No, take that what you will. You know what I mean?
Straight up. I don't know. They abuse you. They really do. They withhold the satisfaction because it makes you solve the next problem better if you withhold the satisfaction. And what I learned, my first job was at 15 at the Weapon Sciences Directorate for AMRDEC. I did not apply for that job. I did a science fair project in piezoelectrics, and I got a call from the Army, and they offered me a job at 15. I couldn't even drive.
15.
My brother had to drive me into the arsenal because they offered the job to both of us. Me and my older brother who could drive.
The Army
And
called
we
you.
carpooled every day for the summer. 15. Yeah, dude. They're like, hey, I heard you did piezoelectrics for the science fair. Here's a job at the Weapons and Sciences Directorate, Building 1408 on Redstone Arsenal. And like,
And the
I left
reason they're
defense.
making such a big
I was
deal
born
about
for
her thing is because, well, Jesus, I can't get a good pause on
Defense.
her. All right. Is because, first she's so young, she's like 34, I think, when she passed. And she kind of predicted how this was going to go. And all the stuff she's saying about her position and her career and stuff and her credentials can be verified. So
I was raised for defense. I'm like 10 years old and my dad is at the whiteboard like, this is how physics works, little girl. And I'm like, my brain is expanding. It's too hard, but my brain is expanding since I was young. I was born for this. And I got a job at the AMRDEC, Weapon Sciences Directorate. And then I did that for 2 years. And I was like, LOL, I'm going to go do gene therapy now in biotech. And when I left, they were like, hey, if you ever want to come back to AMRDEC and explode things, let us know and we'll pay your tuition for engineering. I was like, LOL, I'm going to go do biotech now.
really,
And for the next 10 years, I got so many offers for engineering jobs. It was crazy. Defense jobs. They tried to pull me back in so hard. It was just insane. And I was like, no, I'm going to do gene therapy though, bro.
so
and then I
most of
did
the
that for 10
people in
years,
the comments
and then they
there
sabotaged it.
about the guy
They
taking
sabotaged
his
it.
audio out.
I was 6 months away from a PhD in biotech. Totally sabotaged it down the toilet. Completely ruined. It was through like a fake vehicle of sabotage, right? It was like a sexual harassment thing. It was like a really horrible court case, like really horrible thing. But you know what? If that hadn't happened,
Colette, she's not
if I hadn't
missing.
have been sexually harassed in grad school, I wouldn't be doing anti-gravity right now.
By quote
I
unquote
wouldn't be doing anti-gravity right now because I would be,
suicide. But
they already did that.
Jeremy, what I'll tell you, this girl
No.
is the anti-gravity messiah.
Grammy, absolutely.
If I had not
I
been
know
horribly
that to be
harassed
true.
in grad school, I would be the CEO or the CTO of a gene therapy company right now, and I would not have time. I would not have time to fund my dad's anti-gravity research. But because I was harassed in grad school, and I have PTSD now because it was horrible, because of that, I'm funding anti-gravity right now. Because of that. They tried to pull me back in so many times, it was crazy. It's the biggest seal you've never heard of.
I'd love to hear what that other guy is saying.
It doesn't exist, except everyone in Huntsville knows it. Everyone. No, who's that?
Confident,
Let
definitely.
me Google. Who's that? Yeah, that was my first science fair project. My first science fair project was measuring the specific heat with a bomb calorimeter that I built. I'm sorry, go ahead. Okay. Okay. He received the Edward Teller Medal in 1995. I'm looking at his wiki right now. The IEEE Nuclear and Plasma Science Award in Fusion Technology in 2003. Like, I could go in my childhood bedroom right across the hallway over here, and I have so many fucking IEEE certificates. It's just crazy from the science fair. Carnegie Mellon.
Yeah,
Okay.
Mo, that's right. Nanya, there might be some older footage of her. It probably wasn't this kind of loopy,
Yeah.
although I don't know.
That's cool.
But at this point, I mean, she's, by all accounts, she's drinking quite a bit.
Okay.
And, probably smoking weed and who knows what else. And, people are, I mean, the government spooks are fucking with her at this point.
Oh, that's neat.
No, the guys are fine here in this video. The guys are fine.
Guys,
So Clark-
little homework stuff. I just spoke to Brian Consoli of Altest to try the Alzheimer's experiment.
Okay.
May 28th. Would that work for you guys?
I've actually got a pretty good
experiment. Actually, also the night of Shavuot, which is Pentecost. She's got the Torah from Mount Sinai. So I think it would be a perfect night to have try the Alzheimer's.
Probably got
my tower here in Jersey.
I'm looking at my calendar. Hold on. That's the Thursday, the 28th. What is this? I have something on the 27th. Let me.
I don't know.
Okay.
I
have a cyber. I have a cyber Huntsville luncheon about Chinese espionage on the 27th. But you know what? It's remote. It's remote. It's okay. I can travel. Yeah. Yeah. Turn off your Bluetooth.
Misty, I don't. I've heard about it. I heard about the
Turn off your Bluetooth.
Do
you have a Mac or a Windows machine?
directed weapons and stuff like that. I wanted to just cover this, but they went over that earlier in the video about her getting burned.
Here's the thing about open source.
And I was talking
Here's the thing about open source.
breaking into her house.
They're not necessarily looking for your data. Your data is whatever is compromised already. They're on all of your devices. They have your data. They have the technology already. They know. The surveillance is 100% about private, personal intel and intimidation. They already know what you know. They have your data. Surveillance is to collect personal intel, as in your personal communications, your personal calendar, your personal email, your personal photos, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And the only reason to collect that is to use it against you. It's not about the data. They have the data. It's about intimidation.
Oh, bad pause again. Sorry. All right, Misty, are you on X? If so, put your handle in there. I'll follow you and DM them to me if you can. Yes, X. Twitter? Okay. See, if I don't follow you, you can't. So if you put your handle in, I can follow you. Or maybe we do already.
You have no privacy. You have to assume if Russia or China or the secret space program or whatever the fuck nation state, if they want it, they're going to get it. Pixar, it didn't happen. Yeah. It doesn't work. It's hopeless. Like, like I have crazy ass malware on my shit that they like. I have multiple Bluetooth attacks, like physical proximal within 100 feet of me physically Bluetooth attacks that I have logs and live packet captures for all over town. No, it's not cool. It's disturbing. It's disturbing. I have Bluetooth attacks that happened within 100 feet of me at my co-working space at my office and at local bars and at the local university.
Yeah,
With
you know who
100
did that co-working space? It was from Atlanta, right?
That was SRI guy. There's like so many people that have gone through that co-working space. Like my co-working space is like the internet was set up by this NSA black hat hacker dude that I hate. His name is Greg. He's a douchebag. But like their whole network was set up by this NSA black hat insider Greg. I hate him. What? You know Greg for the NSA hack Miami?
Misty,
Miami.
it's not the same one that you have here.
Mob man. Mob. M-O-B. Mob man. Greg. He's a douchebag. Let me write it down. Okay. It might be the same group because they've been harassing us like crazy.
Oh, okay.
What's his last name? Greg. I hate Greg. He's got this weird fucking mustache and he flew a drone and laughed at me that one time. What is his name? Hold on. So there's like this whole crew from Miami and he's famous for like he invented the first rat remote access Trojan and like rat 6, rat 7 or something. Greg. What's his last name? I hate Greg.
All right, I followed you, Misty. You can send them along if you want.
Okay, hold on. I'm looking up some shit here. Do I have Greg in my phone? I guess I do. Hold on. He's an NSA black hat motherfucker from Miami. Greg, hold on. Greg Mobman. He's in my phone as Greg Mobman, which is his handle. I don't have his last name in my phone. I have his handle in my phone.
Jeremy, have you ever met somebody who's this deep down the rabbit hole before?
From Florida? Tampa is not his last name. He's just from Florida. This is the Hack Miami crew. Like,
is that right, hippie chick? Is it
Lizard
good?
Lizard Squad. Hannes. Greg Hannes. Greg Tampa at hireme.com. Greg Tampa. Oh my God. Sub 7 server is a Trojan horse program. Sub 7 was originally written by a programmer with the handle Mobman. No, Sub 7 Wikipedia. Greg Tampa. Are you serious? Greg Hannes? You said Tampa, didn't you?
Thank you, Joanne. I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Yeah. He's a douchebag. No, I know him. He's a douchebag. And he works for the NSA. Who is the real mob man? Let's see. There's an article here about who is the real mob man who invented Sub 7. That's Greg. He's a creep. Dude, actually, look at. He's from Hack Miami.
No.
Do you know Alex Hyde or Seth Whale?
I don't think anybody's gonna catch
Seth Whale.
who did that. To
Whale.
if you know what I mean.
He's famous for having a microchip implanted in his hand because he can shake your hand and hack your phone.
Tracy, please ask the chat.
Do you know Seth Whale? Whale.
Thank you. No, thank you for being here, though.
Are you serious? He's ex-Navy. Ah. Is he pudgy and blonde? Ah. Ah. Seth. I'm sorry. Yes, he sucks. He sucks. Go ahead. Yeah. God. Yes, he sucks. I'm about to send you a link for Seth Whale to see if it's the same guy. Oh, Seth Whale did my cyber for a while, and he did a really fucking bad job because he was actually an inside spook. Seth Whale and Greg Hannis, aka Greg Tampa, were roommates here in Huntsville when I met them, and they were both from Hack Miami, from Florida, and they were roommates and they hated each other when I first met them here in Huntsville.
Misty, I watched this yesterday. Thank you, though.
Hold on, I'm looking. Hold on, maybe I got the H in the wrong spot. Seth Whale, he's a paper clipper. Seth, oh my God, here's this picture. Okay, I'm gonna send this to you. Hold on. God, if this is the same person, my brain is gonna explode because he's been a real jerk to me, dude. I could tell you stories about this dude, and he's a real jerk to me. Hold on, let me send you that. Type message here. Hold on, paste. Shit, no, that's my dad's ResearchGate. Why did it not update? That's the picture. Copy image. Here we go. Pudgy dude, blonde, blue-eyed because he's a paper clipper, motherfucker, Huntsville, whatever. Click on that.
Yes, despite.
Those are NSA motherfuckers.
Exactly.
And they fuck with you, and they're real jerks. Click on that. Are you serious?
He died in.
Would you recognize Greg if you saw him? Let me find a picture of Greg, mob man.
This
Greg
video
Hannis.
was from 2020. Pretty much predicted what was going to happen.
Here he is, Greg. He's looking real creepy in this picture, so it's accurate. So I'm going to send you this one. Oh God, I hate these people. Hack Miami. I went to Hack Miami 2 years ago, and the whole fucking crew has been harassing me for a fucking minute, man. Let's see.
All right, we're going to speed through this because
If I saw it, but there's like a really super disturbing, huge,
for the people,
shockingly huge pile of
intel.
intel.
They're going to go back.
Go online at the same time.
We need to contact Steve.
But, I mean, the first few minutes are very important.
YouTube channels that are relating to this topic. Everyone needs to be on board. And so basically what we need is email addresses.
A network.
Phone numbers, networking. We need to have an open conversation with all of these people, all of these potential
And then
channels.
we're gonna go on
It's
to the
impossible
next,
to shut us down.
thing.
So what I want to do, like we've been at the Institute here in Huntsville, we've been like intentionally under the, like below the radar. Like we've been intentionally like spooky, hush, hush. Don't tell anyone, like we use heady words on our website, but we don't actually say it directly what we do. But like, so I've kept my profile very low, like intentionally. And I even went as far as I removed the contact form from my website because I was getting so much fucking heat. It was just insane. I had to take the contact form off of my website. But like, I need like 3 months running up to disclosure to establish myself as a personality that people have seen before. Before disclosure, they need to have seen me. There needs to be like in the Wayback Machine on the internet, you can go and find references to me online in the 3 months leading up to disclosure, because we need to publish it on archive. We need to have Tucker Carlson on a Friday night or maybe a Thursday night. He needs to announce we've got something big. There's a documentary on Netflix.
What she wants to do here is kind of, I mean, she wants to go public with what she knows, which in hindsight is probably not, you know, the greatest thing to be announcing, but you know.
That is posted an hour from now. And there's a paper on archive.com that's dropping an hour from now.
Amy,
and the documentary and the paper need to go online at the same time.
We need to contact
She was threatening like disclosure. You know what I mean? And like, just imagine if you're the government and you're like, no, don't do that. And you can just kind of predict what's going to happen here.
First, because he needs to make the documentary. That's what takes the longest.
Here's the thing about the documentary and why it's so crucial. Really? We need. Okay, I like that. Let me send you actually. My dad is on ResearchGate from years ago. I think I can chat in Zoom and I can send you a link to his ResearchGate profile, because we could post it on his profile with him as the author, and then we could have that Tucker Carlson, you know, send in that link. So let me see if I can find him here. And also this ResearchGate profile will give you an idea of like the background that this is coming from, right? So like disclosure is going to come out of Huntsville, Alabama, out of Redstone Arsenal. Redstone Arsenal in Huntsville, Alabama is the biggest fucking deal that you've never heard of. It's the biggest fucking deal that you have never heard of. And so we need a documentary to drop at the same time that establishes the credibility, because the fact is that we have deep and wide, extensive credibility that no one knows about, because you're not supposed to know about it because it's in Alabama, it's obscure. You're not supposed to know about it. That's the point. So we need to establish credibility at the same time that we drop the paper.
People that don't know what Huntsville is. Amy showed
know what Huntsville is? Is that what you're saying? I don't
Jeremy,
think so.
Amy showed me not one but 2 Saturn V rockets there. One was standing up and one was horizontal.
People don't know what Huntsville is. Huntsville is the biggest fucking deal on the planet that you have never heard of. No, it is. No, like Huntsville is the Silicon Valley of government national security technology and intelligence community technology and aerospace technology. Huntsville is like the hub. Like we are number 3 on the first strike launch list. If first strike happens, 3 targets, Huntsville will be one of them. Alabama. This is Alabama dude in the deep south. We're in the top 3 first strike. And it's because you haven't heard of us. We're in the top 3 first strike because you haven't heard of us. That's why. It's on purpose. So we need to get that out there credibly before we disclose. Otherwise, it's like Alabama, podunk, redneck motherfuckers. They don't know anti-gravity. You know what I mean? God. Yeah, no, dude. I started the Institute for one reason. The Institute. I started it as a public-facing persona to disclose anti-gravity technology through, because I told Mark this. If you stick your neck out in public, at least someone notices if your head gets chopped off. If you stick your neck out in private, fuck you. They will bury you. They will burn down your house while you're sleeping in your bed, and it won't even make the news. That's why the Institute exists. So it's a platform of credibility and public-facing persona. So like, sorry, no, I was falling. So I need to establish that like at least 3 months ahead of time, which is basically now, to be real. 3 months ahead of time is basically today. I need a documentary fucking ASAP. And the reason I need the documentary, fucked up. It's simple and it's fucked up at the same time. We need to tell the story. Sorry, what?
This video is from 2020. She died in 2022.
So, do you believe in the secret space program? Do you subscribe to the SSP being real? Oh shit. Hold on. Let me check my fucking Intel notebook to find the correct organization name. I don't know. Hold on. Navy.
So we're just going to go over this.
I'm talking about the specifically. I'm talking about the military industrial complex (SSP), aka Lockheed, Boeing,
probably
Northrop.
why things happen to her, and then we're going to move on for the new people we're doing.
Yes.
This. Yeah, Missy, that's another Nick Pope, David Wilcock. I mean,
I'm Googling SDI Reagan right now because I want to see what year that was. I mean, I know in general what it was, but I want to see the specific year that was. Strategic Defense Initiative organization within the U.S. Department of Defense. I'm looking at the wiki here for Strategic Defense Initiative.
But the Wilcock thing is weird. But
is this MDA? Is this MDA?
There's also a lot of people out
Missile
there
Defense
that
Agency is the Army, AMORDAC, Missile Defense Agency. Are they in this? Hold on, I'm looking at the wiki. The U.S. Army had considered the issue of ballistic missile defense as early as late World War II.
Some people say 11, some people say 13, some people say 15.
So we have THAAD and CRAM, and like Huntsville is the hub of if a nuclear weapon is coming to the U.S. from Russia, how are we going to see it? Most importantly, how are we going to shoot it down? That is all, both the research and development and the operational day-to-day rank and file we're looking at, the radar shit is all run from Huntsville.
Starting a new goal, people.
They would have to. They would have to. They have them here. They would have to have them there and on the West
We're
Coast.
9 short of the last one. We'll see what we get.
Okay. Wait, what city is this again? Okay. So I'm looking at this wiki, and it's talking about lead up to SDI. It says Reagan's Secretary of State suggested that a 1967 lecture by physicist Edward Teller, the so-called father of the hydrogen bomb, was an important precursor to SDI. I have the shit here, man. So I have a guy on my team. That I employ. And he's like, he came to me, I didn't go looking for him. He came to me. And he was basically the best friend of Edward Teller. And he was like this guy basically helped invent the hydrogen bomb, but he's not on the Wikipedia article. He's a neutron bomb nuclear weapons expert.
Oh, was he?
From Huntsville, Alabama, whatever. I employ him because he came to me. And this guy is so fucking good at playing stupid, you wouldn't believe it. He's like, yeah, Ed Teller was my best friend, and he came to visit me in Huntsville several times before he died, and I invented the neutron bomb. And I'm like, okay, you're an SIR, you are an SRI plant. But when I look at this wiki about SDI, I see Bill fucking Dent all over this. Bill fucking Dent. He's on my team. I employ him. He loves me. We're buddies. He acts like he would follow me off a cliff, except I think he's a CIA SRI plant on my team because he was Ed Teller's best friend. And I asked him, I'm like, Bill, what do you think about UFOs? And he's like, I don't think about UFOs. I don't have any opinions about UFOs. And I'm like, really? Because your best friend is Edward Teller. And Ed Teller gave like Ed Teller was like big into UFOs. I'm like, you can't be Ed Teller's best friend in reality and not be into UFOs. I'm sorry. What state was it? Okay. Hold on, I'm scanning through this Wikipedia article and my eye just caught suicide pact. I have to read what that was.
Let's talk about the neutron detecting device for the roadside bombs.
Oh God, Bill's bullshitting me. God damn it, he's a spy.
Yeah,
No, we're going to move on to the next thing.
He has the subject matter expert.
He's a subject matter expert. I think I could work with Bill and really figure out if he's a spy. And also
like Bill.
work with the project.
And the next disappearance is crazy. So give me 1 minute here.
Hello and welcome to the program UFO Warning. In this episode, we're taking a look at the Monica Resa case. That's correct, the Monica Resa case. This kind of goes along with these missing UFO scientists people have been talking about. I've kind of avoided talking about the subject too much because I'm just not sure. I kind of feel like a lot of scientists have been clumped in together and maybe people are generalizing a bit, but this one really stood out to me. I wanted to take a look at it. Now, the Monica Resa case has become one of those modern mysteries that instantly grabs the attention. True crime followers, people in the UFO community, and it's because on the surface it looks like a missing hiker case, but once you start pulling on the threads a little bit,
how are you?
It really touches aerospace black projects, advanced rocket technology, military secrecy, and a retired Air Force general with strong UFO world connections. Now, for people interested in hidden technology or disclosure,
what nobody's talking about is Amy, the girl we just watched, was also connected to Neil Caslin. So he's missing. This lady's missing. And the girl we just watched is dead. And they're both related to Neil McCaslin, the general. Fucking wild stuff, man.
Possibility that certain scientists know too much. Monica Resa's disappearance sits right in that uncomfortable gray zone between ordinary tragedy and something a lot stranger. And that's kind of why I put off talking about this stuff too much. I don't want to compound somebody's already tragic situation. Some of these cases look to me like it might be people with physical or mental health issues. Maybe they just couldn't bear it any longer because of the physical pain or something. And rather than put their family through a funeral or hospice, they've decided to just take their own, well,
Thanks,
you know
Mo.
what?
I got fat
That's
on.
what it looks like on the surface to me. I can't say it for sure. And if that's the case, I think like me, I think none of us want to see those folks have to go through any more problems. But this case here was a little stranger than that.
I know.
Monica Jacinto Resa, sometimes listed professionally as Monica Jacinto, she just wasn't an ordinary engineer. This is a really, really smart lady. She was highly respected. She was an aerospace materials scientist, and she had about 30 years of work tied to advanced.
Can you guys hear me over the video, or is it just Misty? Because if so, I'll
propulsion systems. She spent a lot of her career at Aerojet Rocketdyne, and that's one of the biggest major U.S. defense contractors, and it's deeply involved in missile systems, rocket engines, and military aerospace technology. So she's right there at the heart of it. And you can imagine it's a very important job. She was known for helping develop and patent a specialized nickel super alloy. It's reportedly used in next generation rocket engines. Now, you know.
Yeah, see, this lady was very involved in metallurgy, and she actually came up was like I don't know, but like sort of like a meta material. They basically named it after her. So I mean, these people that are just super brilliant and invent stuff. I'm really muffled. Is that what right now I am? Is that true?
A couple of years ago, maybe it's been 3 or 4 years ago, talked about Tom DeLonge and all these UFO metamaterials. Kind of just seemed to disappear. At one point, they were talking about using one of these metamaterials they found and developing it into some sort of cloaking device for tanks. So this is where you get into this crossover into these really almost super alloys.
I have a mic, but I haven't had anybody say anything so far. So I just like built a new desk and I didn't put the mic on yet. But thank you, Grammy. Let me know if my sound sucks. I'll take a couple minutes and I will hook the mic up.
And what people think is UFO metamaterial, stuff that's fallen off UFOs, pieces of metal that have been found at UFO landings or sightings or
All right, I'll stop it if I'm going to talk. Cool.
whatever. Now, in UFO circles, this detail about her working on this stuff, that detail, it immediately raised eyebrows because advanced propulsion systems are often discussed in relation to black budget and aerospace programs and alleged reverse engineering projects. A lot of people think they've got one of these UFOs and they're reverse engineering it. This is kind of for the three-dimensional crowd that sees these things as nuts and bolt craft. Well, for a lot of these folks, think that the deep state has already got one and they're trying to re-engineer it. Now, the argument against that is that it would be like a bunch of Stone Age tribesmen trying to reverse engineer a nuclear submarine. Kind of go back and forth on that. Now, by 24 to 25, reports indicate she had connections to NASA Jet Propulsion Laboratory, that's JPL, with some reports describing her as working in a leadership role involving materials processing. Back to this materials processing again. Now, Newsweek later referred to her as a NASA-linked aerospace engineer and listed her among experts tied to advanced research. Now, this is important because JPL is not just another lab. It sits near the center of major U.S. aerospace research, deep space missions, and highly sensitive propulsion development. Remember, the same kind of rocket that could send man to the moon and back is the same kind of rocket where they could plant a special gift, say, for our enemies halfway across the globe. So it's very important stuff. It's very much involved with defense, and it's oftentimes top secret, beyond top secret, as they say. Now, getting to her disappearance. On June 22nd, 2025, Monica Resa went hiking near Mount Waterman in the Angeles National Forest in the Los Angeles mountain region. She was not alone. She was hiking with two companions, a man and a woman.
All right, guys, give me 1 minute here. All right. Mic installed. Is that better? Or worse? Let me know.
According to later reporting, the detail that keeps haunting people is this. She was reportedly only about
And how does
30
it
feet
sound if I
behind
talk
one
over
of
the
her
video?
companions. She smiled.
Let me know.
She waved. She appeared completely normal. Then, within moments, she was simply gone. Week
Excellent.
reported
Thank you.
she was last seen smiling and waving about 30 feet behind her hiking companion before suddenly vanishing. No scream, no obvious struggle, no known fall, no immediate evidence of foul play, just gone. Now, when I
Thank you,
hear that
Brandon.
story right there, I immediately think of Dave Politis' work.
Thanks, Swamp Wolves.
Can-Am Missing 411.
Appreciate
If
you.
you're not familiar with Dave's channel, as soon as you finish listening here, go over to Dave's YouTube channel, sign up, get his books, watch his movies. This guy is, I think, the absolute best in this segment of research as far as missing people goes. Nobody knows more about this stuff than Dave does. And he talks about something called point of separation frequently. When his cases he talks about, and I listen to his cases every week. I just love this stuff. I mean, it's upsetting sometimes, but it's so mesmerizing. I can't turn it off.
Get to.
He talks about this point of separation where you have two or three people, they're out walking, turn around, they see the person. Hey, how you doing? Okay, hey, I'll catch right up. Maybe there's a few feet between them. They turn around again, less than a minute later, maybe a few seconds, and they're gone.
Right.
I mean, gone. They bring in bloodhounds. They bring in cadaver dogs. They do searches. It talks about, they look back, they confirm she's there. She's 30, locating.
Okay,
So
I think it's
massive search happened. For UFO believers and missing 411 followers, this detail is the gasoline on the fire. She vanished within seconds. This is one of the most repeated patterns in unexplained wilderness disappearances that you're ever going to see. Now you got this massive search happened. Authorities did not treat this casually. I mean, think about it. This lady has a very, very special skill set. You can imagine the U.S. government probably really didn't want to lose her. According to the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department, a major search effort was launched immediately. They used aerial support, scent tracking dogs, ground search teams, ground pounders, unmanned aerial systems, drones, thermal imaging, wave-based locating systems. That's a new one to me. And assistance from neighboring counties. So they pulled out all the stops to find this lady. Despite all of that, Monica Resa has never been found. No body, no clothing, no definitive trail, no confirmed accident scene. Wasn't like they went back where she had just been at and found maybe blood at the scene or found where she had slipped and fallen. Authorities later stated the case remained active and that there were no clear indications of foul play. I guess unless you consider somebody just vanishing off the face of earth foul play, that's where the foul play's at for me. That absence of evidence is what keeps the case alive, of course. A wilderness accident should usually have something. This one did not. So you might say, well, maybe she was attacked by a mountain lion. Well, there's no evidence of that.
Good question.
There would have been
Randy.
something
I'm
left
not
there that would have been
exactly
happened.
sure.
There would have been tracks. There would have been blood. She would have screamed. None of that. Now, in light of that, then we have this Major General William Neil McCaslin case. Now, this is one I didn't really get into because some of the comments that his wife had made about maybe his physical state or his mental state, and it looked to me like maybe this was a voluntary disappearance, you know, if you get my drift. But when you get into this a little bit, you have to ask a couple questions. Now, retired U.S. Air Force Major General.
Oh, shit, I didn't mean to do that. All right, hold on. There's better informational videos on this. The pattern nobody's talking about. I want to get a little more. I know what I want here. Unsettling pattern. All right. Let's try this one. We're going to try this and see if the information gets better here.
Week or the week after, I'm going to do a longer show.
Oh, shit, it's Whitley Strieber.
All of the
From
disappearances and deaths of scientists that have occurred in the past few years. And I think we'll probably be able to find out a pattern and to understand perhaps a large motive for this. And we may therefore be able to identify probable players who are doing this. Okay, before we do that, though, I'd like to
who Whitley Strieber
talk about another meme, another anti-Whitley Strieber meme that's out there. This is that I was an intelligence agent or am an intelligence agent, as if that would be something bad, that being a CIA officer would be bad. Well, I know John Ramirez and Jim Semivan very well, and they're not bad. I'm proud to know.
I don't know if I want Whitley to tell me about it. Hold on. I like Whitley, but, you know he's just going to go the alien route because he says he talks to aliens. Ranch without a trace. Who is this? Still out there somewhere. Yeah, I didn't preview any of these. Oh, she's good. I listened to Lauren Conlon on that podcast.
It's been a minute since I have provided everyone via the Los Angeles Magazine Videos channel my analysis and research on the 11, now possibly 12 or 13 missing or deceased scientists or officials pertaining to aerospace research or national defense. Now, I feel like I have gone on a significant amount of news shows,
Why is it so hard? Just talk about that particular person. Please. Missing JPL scientists. We're going to do a deep dive part 1. Probably what we're looking for. Let's try it.
I occasionally think how quickly.
Yeah, thank you,
our
Ronnie
differences
Reagan.
Worldwide.
If we were generation,
If we were facing an alien threat
not of this world.
outside this world. And yet I ask you, is not an alien force already among us?
Goddamn right, Ronnie.
We're not alone. We are not alone in this universe, and that is a simple fact. And the U.S. government has been aware of that fact now for decades.
Oh, got him. A little low.
I was informed in the course of my official duties of a multi-decade UAP crash retrieval.
All right, David Grutch, thank you.
This
Oh,
is
no.
recording on Tuesday. It's going up same day up on Patreon for the.
Hopefully he's got the good information. He's got 150 subscribers. I hope he pulls through.
So there's been some weird things going on. We all know General McCaslin. We've been talking about him. And we also vaguely mentioned a NASA Jet Propulsion Lab scientist that went missing as well 8 months ago. Well,
I'm pulling
we're going to go
for
in
you,
depth
dude.
on that because why this isn't still in the news and why this isn't being reporting on, to me, you know, I'm looking at this whole situation as if there's no UAP involved. Now, let me adjust the camera here a second. So there just is because of who's involved in this. We're going to see what I mean by that in a second. Sorry, I had to make some adjustments.
None yet. I'm
We're
going to give him a minute.
Just how insane this whole situation is. So looking at it from the skeptical side, right? Because I know people are going to be, oh, UFOs, UAPs.
You think this
whatever.
guy collects
It doesn't matter if you
triples?
believe in that. This should be deeply unsettling what's going on because this NASA JPL scientist, whom we're going to name and we're going to look at, she disappeared 8 months ago. Well, guess who she worked for who she worked directly with and underneath? General McCaslin for years. So if we have a Jet Propulsion Labs scientist that goes missing that works on propulsion, she works in the propulsion lab and her specialty was making components for rockets and other forms of propulsion that could withstand basically whatever heat you throw at it. If she goes missing,
Wasn't really into
Boston
propulsion,
goes
but
missing
go
8 months
ahead.
later, they both just basically vanish. And it gets even weirder because she was declared dead 4 days of disappearing, even though, and get this, the next day when she disappeared, that next morning, they even used FLIR and all they found in the area was a bear. She literally pretty much vanished in front of people's eyes.
Maybe she's in the bear.
Now, that's an opening statement. So we're just going to go ahead and get into this. For those watching the video, which I highly recommend, we're going to switch the monitor too. So the background for this, we're not even doing news in this because this is just...
Oh, yeah. Maybe we'll stick with him for a minute. I heard about this green burial thing with this lady.
Again, the links to all this stuff's going to be in the description. So this is
Wait a minute. They didn't find her.
What dead 4 days after she vanished. The helicopters were still searching. So think about that. They actually were still treating this because you could totally survive where she went for a lot longer than 4 days. But someone declared
Why did I hear about this?
a bunch of other weird stuff, like they basically made a memorial
They
page
didn't
for
find
it.
her.
Very, very disturbing. I'm going to hit certain points in this, but this opening paragraph here.
Why is his half of his shit cut off?
I am going to read verbatim, so I want you to go read it on your own. But this is very important for anyone that doesn't know.
No, as far as I know, they didn't find her.
On June 22nd, 2025, a 60-year-old woman waved at her hiking companion on a ridgeline in the Angeles National Forest. She was 30 feet behind him. Bright red shirt,
30 feet.
green hiking pants.
You got to bring your...
A route she hiked every week.
I get it.
So keep that in mind. The weather was fine. She did this every week. She had bright clothes on, and she was only 30 feet from who she was with. None of that makes it sound like she should have disappeared, does it? That wave is the last confirmed contact anyone had with Monica Resa. And I'm sorry, ma'am, if I'm slaughtering your name. Every news outlet that covered this story ran the same framing. Missing hiker, rugged terrain. Please check your cameras, standard template. What none of them reported is who she actually was. And we talked about that with the McCaslin case too, who his wife is, who's actually a physicist and the quote-unquote concerned neighbor.
Yeah, McCaslin's wife is also...
They don't mention that in the news, though. This whole situation's so bizarre. Resa co-invented a Mondaloid.
Very high level.
Or Mondalloy, sure how I've never heard it pronounced, so I'm not sure. But it's a family of nickel-based super alloys now built into the engines, replacing Russian-made rockets for American national security launches. She held the patent, and they have...
I mean, if they haven't found her, Charlie, potentially, sure.
She spent decades as a technical fellow at Aerojet Rocketdyne, the highest technical rank in the company.
I
an
can't.
associate fellow at the
I'm
American
getting this
Institute of
mixed up.
Aeronautics and Astronautics.
They didn't find
At
her.
some point after 2023, she moved to NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory.
I don't
That
think.
matters because of what happened 8 months
Unless
later.
we're getting them mixed
On
up with
February
somebody else.
27th, 2026, retired Major General William Neil McCaslin walked out of his Albuquerque home and into the Sandia Mountain foothills, left his phone, left his glasses, left his wearable devices, took a gun and his wallet, and has not been seen since. He also took a backpack, which they didn't mention here. So it's almost like he walked out knowing someone's going to come after him and he didn't want to be able to be tracked. See, that's what gets weird with not with this, but with the mainstream media. They don't
All right, Lurch. Thank you very much for being
The
here.
Ghost General, we met McCaslin's career. So we're going to do the next episode,
That's
which I'm going to
cool.
record probably tomorrow, is going to be on him because this is looking nefarious now. He commanded the Air Force Research Laboratory from 2011 to 2013, overseeing the $4.4 billion portfolio that funded the most sensitive aerospace research in the country. The portfolio funded Monica Resa's work. Her alloy is in the engines his budget was actively building. And they even said, we did not expect the general's trail to lead here. So now we're going to hit some main points in each section. But there's a picture of her too at the Aerojet Rocketdyne. The credit for this one's from Aerojet Rocketdyne. And then if we go back up to the top, this is from the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department on the right. So you can see there's the helicopter with the FLIR actively searching for her.
FLIR is forward-looking infrared.
What? This is just so bizarre. I know I'm kind of flustered and all this, but this is really, I don't understand why this isn't huge news. Two of them going missing that worked on the same things. One was a major general. The other's a NASA scientist that owns patents, saved our space. Basically, she saved most of our.
But the last lady we watched, Amy, is also connected to Neil McCaslin.
Well, we'll get into that. But she saved Americans sending satellites into space. So the sweet spot. So here's where we're going to start hitting like main things. So American rocket designers had a problem for decades. The Soviets could build oxygen-rich, staged combustion engines. We could not. Not because we didn't understand the physics, but because we couldn't find a metal that survived the environment. So basically, they
Thanks, Grammy. Welcome to Antenna Folk Status.
Anything metal for like the
Adjust
engines
your
and the
antenna.
parts, right? It would do one of two things. It would either crack or it would basically light on
You get
fire.
some merch made.
Or it could do both. Because, you know, it's super high heat when you're dealing with like rockets and things like that. Like, I mean, we're talking like thousands of degrees. So what we were doing is we were relying on Soviet, well, it would have been originally
think
probably
this guy
Soviet
would
made,
fix
but
this.
it was, yeah, the Soviets could do it. But then we ended up having, the Russians were making them, like all the metals and like the engines and stuff like that. So in the mid-1990s at the Rockwell Science Center in California, a metallurgist named Dallas Hardwick and her research assistant, Monica Jacinto, cracked it. They found a nickel-based composition that could sit in that inferno without igniting and without cracking. No coatings, no liners, bare metal touching gas, oxygen,
Hey, Helen.
specific temperature. Now, because of this, they actually named it after our missing woman, Monica.
Hey, Helen, you were in the chat last night. Where'd you?
It's probably Mond Alloy. You know, the name is a portmanteau, so it's like
When I
when you
tried
take two
to,
names and you mash them up together. It's like the Mond.
have a
part,
reasonable
Mond,
discussion. It's random.
Alloy, of course, because it's an alloy. So this is where things get interesting as far as this part of it goes. So in 1999, the Air Force Research Laboratory, or AFRL, so keep that in mind because that is specifically in 2011 what General McCaslin takes over, started putting money in it, and then NASA followed. So the lab scale alloy became two different variants, and this is where it also, this stuff's kind of heavy, but it's important. So there was 100 and 200. So it's different chemistries for different heat and pressure ranges. You can cast it, forge it, and 3D print it. So think about that. If you can 3D print
Who was in that? Randall was in my chat last night?
4 rocket components. So this is a huge deal. 20 years of material qualifications, component testing, and integration.
I did see that.
All of it. She oversaw everything. And then in 2017, Space News even profiled her. They did like a big write-up on it. So as far as like what she's replacing from the Russian RD-180.
Oh, yeah.
So that was the rocket engine we talked about that launched our national security satellites. 12 components, it says inside that engine are Mond alloy. Pre-burners, turbine rotors, turbine housings, ducts and lines, and hot gas manifolds. Every part that touched fire was made by her alloy.
No, it's all good. Me too.
So then we had the hydrocarbon boost technology demonstrator, which is the Air Force's program for a reusable 250,000-pound thrust engine, also used it. Now, both of these are Air Force funded, both flowing through the AFRL. So you already have like two sides, right, of this. You've got the government side and you have more of the civilian side. because the part where we're staying for national security satellites, you could also use that.
Hey, Grammy, thank you.
Too. No, the patent is public record.
Bringing the heat with the 5 memberships. Thank you. You made 5. You made 5 antenna.
And then it says Hardwick, the mentor, later moved to the AFRL in Ohio. And then by 2025, she was leading all material researches for advanced gas turbine engines. So her group was.
And by the way, I'm going to be making some members only stuff coming up. There's still a bunch of stuff I need to do. Like I got to figure some stuff out, but I'm definitely going to be doing that. We're going to be doing some members only beach visits. Actually, today ended up being real beautiful, but I had already made this. We were going to cover this. So
that was now officially the government half of the Mandalloy or Mondalloy partnership. And then whereas Resa built the alloys at Aerojet Rocketdyne, it did whoever else needed it that wasn't government related. So we had 2 women, 2 institutions, and 1 program. Now, when McCaslin took command of the AFRL in 2011, Hardwick was still there. So all 3 of these people are connected now. So he's connected to the missing JPL scientist, and he's connected to her mentor. They were all active and all there at the same time. So remember that. If you hear anything in the media about them not knowing each other, not only did he know her, he knew her mentor. So he knew both people that created the alloy. Now, Hardwick, though, it says retired in 2012 after she got a stage 4 cancer diagnosis, but she continued to work with them until she passed on January 5th, 2014. And then after her death, too, Resa even publicly said, I couldn't have done this basically without her, I hope that she knows that. And then it's going to get into 30 feet. So this is where it says 3 hikers departed the 6,000-foot day use parking area. And it actually shows it too right here. So you can see.
All right. So first of all, she's an accomplished hiker, very much so, right? Hikes these hills and these mountains or whatever, these trails all the time. She's hiking with 2 or 3 other people. I missed it. 2 or 3 other people, something like 30 feet behind them. They turn around and she's gone. Gone.
How would somebody disappear here? It's a little, technically, yes, this is rough terrain because it looks kind of a little hilly, and but look, this is all, we're going to actually make this bigger. So this is just.
Hi, Lisa. Thanks for showing up.
You know what? Now that's weird. Scale filled. I just realized something. Fit the screen. There we go. I don't know why that happened. So now you can see the whole photo if you're watching the video. So you can see this terrain, this runs up, and it kind of winds this way. But there's really nowhere, in my opinion, a person should be able to disappear. There's trees here and there, but I do mean that here and there. I mean, it's California, in the area that this is in, it's pretty open.
The weirdest shit happens in these places. They're kind of dangerous. I mean, it's not that crazy though. You're not climbing fucking Everest. These national parks. I mean, anybody who knows about the missing 411 Dave Politis stuff, knows about that. I mean, it's some wild shit.
You could probably see from down here where my mouse is, if you can see all the way up here. I mean, that's what at least a quarter to a better part of a mile you can probably see, because that's a lot further than it looks. And it has the coordinates too. So if you want to go to Google Earth and actually look at this. Now, it doesn't, the thing with this is it doesn't give the other 2 people's names. I'm guessing just for privacy, but it would be nice to know who they were in case anyone wanted to reach out to them and get statements. But it says 3 hikers departed the 6,000.
You can fall off what though? No, they're not hiking cliffs and rock climbing. You know what I mean? Yeah, I mean there's trouble spots, but I don't think it's as crazy as people kind of think it is. They're just hiking. They're not mountain climbing, rock climbing. That shit's dangerous. I mean, she was a very accomplished hiker, but she was also 60 years old or something like that, right?
Area on Angeles Crest Highway, approximately 9:10 a.m. Now, this part we are going to read because this is detailed exactly what happened.
I mean, no doubt.
And it gives the coordinates, the terrain.
These places can be dangerous.
Challenging, but well maintained because, I mean, the 1,000-foot change that's more cardio. But I mean, as you can see, like again, this is pretty open, so it would just be more your cardio, like how far can you walk. So a neighbor later posted on
But he fixed the text.
the Crescenta Valley Sheriff Station Facebook page. What we know is that she went hiking with her yoga group / friends, and her car was parked at one of their houses. Read that again. Her car was at someone else's house. She was dependent on the group for transport, so she wouldn't just take off. You know what I mean? They'd be like, "Oh, I'll meet up with you later," because she can't leave if she's not with them. One of the three designated Subject C in civilian investigations stayed at the bottom of the steep section. So I'm guessing that's probably maybe over in here because you see it looks like
Section, okay.
Again, this is like pretty visual heavy.
I heard it was
So I think they're
at
probably
most
down
it was
here,
like
so
a
nothing winds
30-degree
up
angle
this way,
at
goes
most.
to the right, and then kind of does this. So my guess is they were either somewhere over in here or maybe even back there. I don't know. Let's see, where were we? Okay, so
Oh, absolutely, Becky, it can happen.
Continued to the summit of Mount Waterman.
But by all accounts, from where they were, it wasn't an area like that. From what we're hearing. People die in the woods and on the street and wherever all the time. I mean, we know that. But it doesn't sound from what we're hearing that this was a trouble spot like that.
And they would have went this way. Okay, so that makes sense. So independent investigators on the
Zach, you fucked up.
hiking forum. Again, if I'm messing up these names, I apologize. Reconstructed the timeline using metadata from photos the group took on the trail. So that's fantastic that they have exact times when they were, when they were at these locations. The pair covered a mile from the summit to their last photograph position in 17 minutes. That's pretty good. Roughly 3.5 miles an hour. When you consider that they're going up and down 1,000 feet, I know 3.5 miles an hour. Yeah, jog. It's not super fast, but that change in elevation can really kick your ass. Then 0.3 miles more in 5 minutes to the spot where everything stopped. At a northerly right turn on the ridge, Subject A. So actually, we can see where this was. So if it's a northerly right turn, it'll be back in here. Exactly where I said it turns right and then winds up. So somewhere over in here, this happened. So
I've been to Purgatory back in the day, Nanya. It's
the turn to Resa.
Been forever.
30 feet behind him. He initially reported 30 yards.
Yeah, a Navy SEAL guy could grab anybody.
So remember, 30 yards is 90 feet.
I suppose.
And 30 feet is going to be 30 feet. Photographic evidence from moments earlier showed 60 feet of separation. So he's already.
Did anybody remember the story? I want to say it was 2-3 years ago, where there was a young couple, a guy, his girlfriend. I want to say their baby and a dog, and they all ended up dead. No injuries, nothing. On a mountain in California somewhere. I can't remember where. I looked it up not too long ago. And the only thing that they could come up with was some kind of, they couldn't come up with anything. Some kind of poisonous algae that was in the area and a pond. You guys remember that story? I haven't looked up any updates on it in a while.
By 30 feet regardless. If it's 30 feet more than what he thought at 30 feet, or, if it was 30 yards that he really thought, he's still, so, I mean, in this case, 30 feet is a lot, is my point. So Reza acknowledged the signal with a wave. Subject A made the turn. He descended approximately 100 feet before realizing that she was not behind him. He returned to the ridgeline in 8 to 10 minutes, which that's a long time, to be honest. If they were only 30 feet behind, 60 feet behind someone, if you don't notice and it takes you 8 to 10 minutes to get there, something about that to me doesn't add up. He called her name. Subject C, over 1,600 feet away and 500 feet below the ridge on a noisier highway side, could hear his shouts. Monica, who by Subject A's own account had been 30 feet behind him less than 10 minutes earlier, did not answer. Nobody heard from her again. Picture of her. I mean, she's not very big either. She's only 4'11" and 100 pounds. So if someone did take her, if a couple guys grabs her, or a couple big people, she probably, unless she knows martial arts of some kind, considering that she's also 60, and I mean, she seems like she's in great shape for her age, but there's a lot to take into account that someone could have grabbed her, is my point. And it probably wouldn't have been super challenging if you have a couple people, because she's not a very big person. Now, I want to stop here for a second because it does say, like, you know, by dialing 800-222-TIPS, which is 8477, like if you have any information, or use your smartphone by downloading the P3 Tips mobile app. So we'll have all that in the description too. And then search for nothing. This is where it starts to, in my opinion, get really weird. So Acting Captain Ryan A. Vienna of the LA County Sheriff's Crescenta Valley Station called it an extraordinary search. So Montrose search and rescue led, they were joined by units from, just think about this. They were led by units from Altadena, Antelope Valley, Malibu.
Yeah, sure, but all of them at the same time. It's just
San Diego, Ventura
including
County,
the dog.
San Bernardino County, and Riverside.
What the fuck?
Now,
Like,
this is
it's so
what
weird.
I want you to keep in mind. Federal partners were involved, but not publicly named. It'd be interesting to know what federal partners were involved in this if they didn't even want to be public. All they did was they thanked our federal partners for their continued assistance. And then LASD, so that's LA Sheriff's Department, Air Rescue 5 helicopter ran thermal imaging sweeps. FLIR went up the first morning after she disappeared. It picked up a bear. It picked up other searchers. It did not pick up a 60-year-old woman in a red shirt. And what's interesting about that is she would have to be completely out of the area, because even if something would happen to her, there should still be some residual body heat to her, considering that it wouldn't have even probably been 24 hours since she disappeared. They ran an algorithmic pixel matching program through the aerial photography, calibrated specifically to the red of her hiking shirt. It flagged hits. Ground teams hiked to each one. Mylar balloons every time. So for once solving something like this, it really was balloons. They mapped every search track on CalTopo, which this is a topography map. If you've never seen one of these before. Let's see. To prevent overlaps across a 40 to 50 mile radius, they ran canines, and they even had search dogs out. They deployed what Vienna described as forensic technology, photography, and airships. So they had drones out looking too, and other specialized tools, and nearly no available resource untapped. One piece of physical evidence was recovered. So about 24 hours after she disappeared, a beanie belonging to her was found in a steep ravine south of the ridge, descending toward Devil's Canyon. Scent dogs tracked her trail from the upper ridge downward and successfully followed it to the beanie. Then they lost the scent entirely. No exit trail, no trail in any direction. Resa's scent simply stopped at the beanie and went nowhere. In October, an independent investigator who visited the site and spoke directly with the subject wrote, without significant wind, to me, this meant the beanie got transported there by some walking animal or a flying bird, or someone other than Monica, which would make sense because she can't just disappear like that. The only way that you could probably get that scent to do that is if she literally, well, no, because it didn't say there was a scent going to it, did it? Because if you had a scent going to it and then nothing from it, she could have technically walked over, threw it on the ground, and walked back, basically the same way she went down. But it said that there wasn't a scent trail going to it, so that is odd. Multiple civilian searchers who descended the ravine described the terrain as
I don't see any update on that story either. That was a wild one.
Let me do this real quick. Let me, I know I'm like doing this almost like it's live, but I'm going to highlight that so I can come back to it, because we're going to go back up to this, because this is what I was trying to say. You can see, yeah, from up here on this ridge down to here is kind of it's a slope. But honestly, none of this is like crazy. Like, we're not seeing like cliff faces, you know what I mean? It's gradual slopes. It's this terrain doesn't actually look that bad for having these trails and like things to go running and biking and stuff on. It just seems like it's the elevation changes and maybe the grades, you know what I mean? Because it's probably a 35 grade, maybe up to 40 at times, but that's not fatal. But it would be a rough ride or a rough jog, you know, if you're going up and down like by 1,000 feet or so. So the day she went missing, someone reported hearing a woman screaming in the general vicinity. The original witness was never publicly identified. The time and exact location were never disclosed. So that to me tells me one of three things would have happened, because I mean it's really the only three options. Something would have attacked her, someone would have attacked her, or she would have fallen. But if the searchers there said that nothing there is enough to be fatal and they never found her on FLIR or anything, we can probably rule out that she fell. So then that just leaves the other two. And if a mountain lion or something along those lines would have got her, there would have been, if you've never seen the result of a mountain lion or a bear attack, consider yourself lucky. And
yeah, I mean,
needless to say, there would have been signs that someone got attacked.
Okay.
By an animal.
You're talking about a young couple, a baby, and the dog. They hadn't been out there for long at all, and they all come up dead with no injuries and yeah, Could one of them get heat stroke and possibly pass away? Sure. Yeah. Could two of them? I guess, you know what I mean? And like, I don't know. And then the baby and the dog all within a very tight window. Like, it's just, I don't know, man. It's crazy.
To me, that only leaves the one thing that's possible is someone grabbed her for whatever reason. And I hate jumping to conclusions like this, but when someone like involved in these kinds of things literally just vanishes, you know, and then you have a major general 8 months later that was her boss also.
Oh, you mean her? Yeah.
To where someone couldn't find her.
As far as I know.
Then I have to assume that someone probably grabbed her either for her own protection,
right,
or for something, you know, not so great.
There's no trace of her. It's just very, very.
So the lip balm was later found far from both the last known position and the beanie. Subject A insisted it looked new and was hers. The only photo provided showed it looking weathered. But apparently, like, people on the forum said that's a common brand, and it really could have belonged to anyone. Then they shouldn't be saying that it's hers, because I guess a lot of people use that brand. My guess is probably like Burt's Bees or something. On June 29th, 1 weekend, Vienna announced the conclusion of the initial response phase, which is normal. I mean, it's a week later. Now, this is where it gets interesting, because, you know, everything we keep hearing is that she disappeared. Well, the case was transferred to the Los Angeles Sheriff's Department Homicide Bureau for missing persons. So detective.
I'm sure you have, yes. Sure you have. I mean, she definitely could have been like, you know, especially like if she's super high level and they wanted to take her out. I mean, it wouldn't be that difficult. You know, these guys are like, you know, invisible, basically. They can do whatever they want, but this is pretty strange, you know, at the same time. Let's say that did happen. This is even worse. You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck is going on?
Standard procedure, it says, for unsolved missing persons in LA County. It does not include a presumption of foul play, but I mean, I don't know. It tells me though
they can't say it's foul play because there's nothing.
That disappear and being murdered. That we probably should assume that this is a good possibility that she was, because I mean, if that's the play for someone,
they can't just say that though. They can't, because there's nothing.
One of the things that I follow that's not weird is a lot of my family's a huge law enforcement and military family, so I'm heavily into like cold cases and missing persons cases, and a lot of times it's just, well, there's still a missing persons case, you know, and sometimes they'll get transferred like that, sometimes they don't. But the fact that it said specifically in LA County that's normal tells me there's probably a lot of murders there.
But LA County, you think, buddy?
So subject A is not publicly identified. So what follows is sourced from the it says Ice Periton, but we're just going to say from the hiking forum and from Reddit's SoCal hiking Reddit and the Help Find Monica Resa Facebook group. So he's described as a yogi who operates a wellness business that includes taking clients on outdoor excursions. So she was not merely a hiking friend, she was a client. His post-disappearance behavior drew sustained scrutiny. So one Reddit user documented that this yogi...
Did we even go on Reddit anymore?
Yogi is still out there searching for her in the heat and rough terrain. He was very adamant about searching every bush and rock. The same thread included a counter-analysis. It is probable that he is building an alibi to protect himself and his wellness business. I mean, it could be either one, but I hate jumping to conclusions on this.
All right, Grammy, thank you.
You know, let me just finish what they're saying. So let's say I was a yogi and I killed all my clients. Why would I create a fake scenario where I lose someone on my own hiking event in a well-traveled area? This totally jeopardizes my business and makes me the last person to see her, which is true. I mean, like they said, it's a fair argument. However, we've also seen, I say we, because I'm sure some of you listening follow like missing persons cases and stuff too. There are a lot of times the murderer actually helps. I shouldn't laugh because it's not funny. It's just completely ridiculous because of the narcissism in it. A lot of the times the murderer does actually help search.
Yeah, but steal your wallet type shit and help you look for it. Yeah, it's pretty common.
That is the form of alibi with this. So that's really like what it's getting into here. Organizers would not share previous search routes and became very guarded with information, which I agree. This is a huge.
Thank you, Pretty Fly.
We're searching the same areas.
Thank you very much. Appreciate you.
And that kind of does need to. They need to have that available, even if it's not public. They need to have it available to someone in charge, because if you're really looking for someone, you don't want to waste energy, right? I mean, the more you search the same areas, you're just wasting.
Gutman's on this. Yeah, a lot of people are picking up on this. A lot of people.
2 months in,
I'm just waiting for Rogan to do it. He mentioned it
This is still just kind of like
a week or two back.
about the two. So the pace on the ridge was 3.5 miles an hour, a jog on descending terrain with a 60-year-old woman who was 4'11" and 101 pounds. That's how you create separation conditions, because it says that they were like split before disappearance. Then the distance shrinks in the retelling, but the photo shows 60, which is true. I mean, that's what I said. There's a discrepancy there. This is really just talking about the discrepancies in the silence. So this is really, this is the part, like it says, that makes it sting. So like until 2023, every public record listed her as a technical fellow at Aerojet Rocketdyne. You know, like everything that I mentioned that they had. Then on 2024-2025's Dean's Advisory Board, a different listing, Monica Resa, JPL NASA. So sometime between 2023 and 2024, she moved from where she was to
What is this? He just ended it? Is that it? Oh my God. Jesus Christ. Who was doing this? Let me look for something real quick here. All right. 1 second, please. I gotta look for something. Where is she? Okay, cool. All right, I want to know a little more about her, though. The guy just cut his thing. He's like, oh yeah, she moved from. End the video. Yeah.
Now, the Angeles National Forest, a sprawling expanse of over 700,000 acres, serves as a rugged crown to the Los Angeles basin. It's often affectionately referred to as LA's backyard playground, a testament to its role as a vital recreational escape for millions.
Sorry that other guy was low.
Its accessible trails, soaring peaks, and shaded canyons offer a quick and profound immersion into the wild. Yet this idyllic image belies a more formidable truth. The forest is a place of rugged terrain and harsh vegetation. It's a genuine wilderness where the line between recreation and peril is perilously thin. For decades, its canyons have echoed with stories of those who ventured in and did not return, making it a landscape with a long and often tragic memory. On June 22nd, 2025, this unforgiving playground became the setting for another baffling disappearance. Monica Resa, a 60-year-old hiker, vanished from the well-trodden trails near Mount Waterman. Her case triggered a massive multi-agency search operation, drew intense public scrutiny, and ultimately settled into the quiet, uncertain status of an open and ongoing investigation. The disappearance of an experienced hiker in good health and unfamiliar territory from the midst of her own hiking party presents a profound mystery. It's a case that not only highlights the inherent dangers of the wilderness, but also serves as a modern parable about the limits of technology, the complexities of public involvement in official investigations, and the enduring power of the wild to defy human understanding. In this video, we're going to provide an exhaustive examination of the Monica Resa case, from her last known movements to the somber conclusion of the initial search, placing her story within the broader, darker context of the many who have been lost in the San Gabriel Mountains. Join me. Let's walk and see. Now, the narrative of any missing person case begins with the last confirmed moments of their presence. In the case of Monica Resa, these moments are both deceptively simple and maddeningly ambiguous. Reconstructing the timeline of June 22nd, 2025 reveals a standard Sunday morning hike, then inexplicably deviated into a lasting mystery, creating an information vacuum that was almost immediately filled with questions, speculation, and a community's desperate search for answers. Monica Resa was not a novice lost in an alien environment. The 60-year-old Los Angeles County resident was, by all official accounts, an experienced and well-prepared hiker. described as a petite woman, standing 4 foot 11 inches tall and weighing approximately 101 pounds. She had gray hair and brown eyes and was known to be in good shape. Sergeant John
somebody
Gilbert of
wanted
the
to
Los
grab
Angeles
her.
County Sheriff's Department, the LASD, Crescenta Valley Station, confirmed this, stating that Resa and her friends, quote, went out weekly to hike in the area, end quote. This familiarity with the terrain and regular hiking schedule makes her disappearance all the more perplexing. Unlike many cases that involve ill-prepared or inexperienced individuals, Resa's profile suggests she possessed the skills and knowledge to navigate the challenges of the San Gabriel Mountains. She had no known health conditions that would have contributed to her disappearance, further deepening the mystery. The day began as a routine outing. Monica Resa was hiking with 2 companions in the popular Mount Waterman area of the Angeles National Forest. The last confirmed sighting of her occurred at approximately 9:10 a.m. near the 6,000-foot gate on Angeles Crest Highway, a location also identified as 60,001 Trailhead Avenue. The critical event, as reported by the authorities, involved the separation of the group. According to the Crescenta Valley Weekly, the trio split up when one of the hikers went ahead to retrieve their car, leaving Monica and the third hiker to continue together. It was at this point that the narrative fractures. Resa became separated from her remaining companion. The most crucial and enigmatic detail provided by officials is that she, quote, left the trail for an unknown reason near the ridgeline between the elevations of 7,000 and 8,000 feet, end quote. Single action or inaction is the pivot upon which the entire case turns. There was no report of a fall, an argument, or a planned rendezvous point. One moment she was there, and the next she was gone. A comment on a social media post from someone claiming to be a neighbor later added a layer of community disbelief, quoting here, how this could happen in a group setting is beyond me. Her family and the neighborhood is devastated. In the immediate aftermath, the flow of information was inconsistent, a common feature of fast-moving crises, but one that fueled public confusion. An early discrepancy emerged regarding Resa's clothing. While most official reports and news outlets eventually settled on a consistent description, a red, long-sleeve shirt, green hiking pants, and hiking shoes, some initial reports were less specific, mentioning only a long-sleeve shirt. This minor confusion underscored a larger problem, the lack of a clear, detailed public narrative from her companions or the authorities about the precise circumstances of her disappearance. The information void was quickly filled by a burgeoning public investigation on social media platforms, particularly Reddit. Members of the Southern California hiking community, many of whom were familiar with the trail and standard hiking practices, began asking pointed and logical questions that highlighted the narrative's apparent gaps. Their queries went straight to the heart of the matter. What was the timeline for reporting her missing? How long was the delay between her separation and the call to law enforcement? What were the identities of her companions? Were they experienced hikers as well? Why did the group separate in the first place? A practice often discouraged among hiking groups. One online commenter claimed the group was, quote, jogging quickly on the trail, end quote, while another Reddit user noted that a Facebook group dedicated to the search mentioned they were running back from the summit. This led to questions about why they were running and whether Resa was appropriately dressed for trail running. And perhaps most critically, users in the Facebook group and on Reddit questioned why an experienced hiker like Resa was reportedly without a water supply. These questions were not born of idle gossip, but of a logical attempt to reconcile the official story with the established norms of
Thank you,
hiking
Mo.
culture.
You're the best.
For experienced hikers, the idea of a companion simply vanishing without a trace and the lack of basic supplies like water seemed incongruous. The ambiguity surrounding the separation created a space for skepticism and alternative theories to quickly grow, turning a personal tragedy into a very public puzzle. The response to Monica Resa's disappearance was immediate, massive, and a testament to the highly organized and collaborative nature of Southern California's search and rescue community. Yet the sheer scale of the operation also served to highlight the immense difficulty of its task. For 8 days, a small army of professionals and volunteers threw every available resource at the mountain, only to be met with a stubborn and unyielding silence. The operational lead for the search fell to the LASD's Crescenta Valley Station and its affiliated volunteer unit, the Montrose Search and Rescue SAR team. Founded in 1947, Montrose SAR is one of the most active volunteer rescue teams in both the county and the state, responding to an average of 95 to 135 calls annually and possessing deep institutional knowledge of the treacherous local terrain. However, The complexity of the search quickly necessitated a far broader coalition. What followed was a remarkable mobilization of mutual aid, drawing in specialized teams from across the lower half of California.
Hey, Zach, thank you. I can bring out the ginger in a little while, meaning the cat, but no Jameson.
The list of participating agencies underscores the gravity with which the case was treated. Altadena Mountain Rescue, Antelope Valley SAR, Sierra Madre Search and Rescue, San Dimas Mountain Rescue, and Malibu SAR from within Los Angeles County were joined by teams from San Diego, Ventura, Riverside, Orange, San Bernardino, Kern, and even Tulare counties. This statewide response transformed the area around Mount Waterman into a bustling command center, a coordinated assault on the wilderness. Acting Captain Ryan A. Vienna of the Crescenta Valley Station publicly expressed his gratitude for this extensive support, acknowledging the many search and rescue teams involved and thanking federal partners for their continued assistance. The search for Monica Resa was a showcase of modern SAR methodology, combining traditional boots-on-the-ground searching with a sophisticated suite of technology. From the air, the LASD's Air Rescue 5 helicopter became a constant presence, scouring the canyons and ridges. It was supported by fixed-wing aircraft, equipped with high-resolution imaging and unmanned aerial system drones, all aimed at spotting any sign of resin from above. On the ground, searchers employed a variety of tactics. In a statement, the Montrose SAR team confirmed the comprehensive nature of their efforts. Quote, "We also want to assure the public that we're throwing every possible resource at this incident. To date, we have logged hundreds of search hours on the ground and in the air. Unmanned aerial systems, tracking canines, and specialized technology have all been used." End quote. This technological approach included working with experts to analyze cell phone forensic data to assist in identifying Monica's last known movements, a critical tool in establishing a more precise search area. The goal, as stated in a later debrief from Captain Vienna, was to leave, quote, "nearly no available resource untapped." Despite the overwhelming force of manpower and technology, the search teams were confronted by a formidable adversary, the mountain itself. The terrain where Resa was last seen is described as highly technical, exceptionally rugged, and steep, with punishing elevations that tested the limits of the searchers. The environment actively resisted the search, dictated and often defeating the tactics deployed. A telling example of this resistance was the use of canine units. According to a volunteer who was on the ground, search dogs were utilized on the first day, but were quickly deemed ineffective due to the harshness of the terrain and were not used on the trails thereafter. This significant detail, as it illustrates conditions so severe that one of the most reliable tools in the SAR arsenal was rendered useless. Sergeant Gilbert confirmed that the initial efforts focused on the established trails, where searchers looked for
Pretty
or
wild.
any sign of distress, such as discarded
I think
equipment.
she's just
or
one out of the, depending on who you listen to, from anywhere from 11 to 15 now. Again, depending on who you listen to. We're going to try to cover most of them, the information I can get.
or signs of an injury. When these grid searches yielded nothing, the operation was forced to move into the far more dangerous off-trail backcountry. This shift dramatically increased the risk to the searchers themselves and exponentially expanded the search area into a chaotic landscape of steep ravines, dense chaparral, and rocky outcrops.
Be right back, everybody. I got to MC Cossie P.
Expertly coordinated operation to find any trace of Monica Resa after 8 days is a humbling testament to the fact that even in the 21st century, the wilderness can easily conceal its secrets from even the most determined human efforts. In parallel with the official uniformed search for Monica Resa, a second civilian-led effort rapidly took shape in the digital realm. Fueled by social media and a passionate local hiking community, this grassroots response became a powerful force for raising awareness. However, it also generated significant friction with law enforcement, creating a dynamic that has become characteristic of missing persons cases in the modern era. This parallel investigation revealed a fundamental tension between the public's desire for transparency and immediate action, and the official need for procedural control and investigative discipline. Within hours and days of Resa's disappearance, the Southern California hiking community mobilized online. Posts on popular forums like Reddit's r/social hiking and r/hiking served as digital town squares, issuing a call to action. One post implored users to, quote, join hiking search parties and volunteer on the ground, and to share Monica's search campaigns and news stories to increase visibility, end quote. The response was immediate. A Facebook group titled Help Find Missing Hiker Monica Resa was created, quickly becoming a central hub for coordinating updates, sharing information, and organizing volunteer efforts. A meetup page was also established seeking expert hikers, mountaineers, and operations volunteers to establish a base camp and provide logistical support, demonstrating a sophisticated level of self-organization among the civilian volunteers. These online spaces quickly evolved beyond simple coordination hubs into active, crowdsourced investigation forums. With official information limited to press releases, users began to piece together clues, analyze inconsistencies, and formulate theories. The Reddit threads, in particular, became a repository of pointed questions directed at the silent official narrative. As previously stated, users with deep knowledge of hiking protocol questioned the separation of the group, the alleged lack of water, and reports that the hikers may have been running. This public discourse was not merely speculative, it was an attempt to apply logic to a situation that seemed to defy it. The community's disbelief was palpable in comments like that of a purported neighbor who was devastated and found it incomprehensible that someone could disappear from a group setting. This sentiment was echoed by many online who expressed shock that an experienced hiker could vanish so completely, so close to her companions. The digital search party was not just looking for Monica Resa, it was also searching for an explanation that made sense. This surge of public participation, while well-intentioned, inevitably clashed with the protocols of the official investigation. Law enforcement's primary concerns in such situations are the preservation of evidence and the safety of the public. On the sixth day of the search, the Crescenta Valley Sheriff's Station issued a direct plea on its Facebook page, asking the public to avoid the search area. The post explained the rationale clearly, quoting here, "Uncoordinated foot traffic can unintentionally interfere with tracking evidence, delay progress, or even create new emergencies." Captain Vienna later reiterated this concern, noting that the area was highly technical and difficult for inexperienced hikers. This directive created a clear point of friction. On Reddit, some users immediately relayed the official message, urging volunteers to stand down and not interfere. However, others expressed frustration, with one user writing, quote, "Meanwhile, the poor lady is out there dying while the gatekeepers make sure only they have access to vital information like cell pings," end quote. This comment encapsulates the core of the conflict, the public's belief in the power of numbers and open information versus law enforcement's reliance on controlled, methodical investigation. Some volunteers attempted to navigate this difficult divide, with one searcher stating they had been checking in with SAR daily to ensure we weren't in the way or covering the same ground. Now, this illustrates a delicate and often tense relationship between official responders and the passionate, digitally connected communities that now invariably form around these tragedies. Monica Resa case became a vivid example of how every modern missing person investigation is, in reality, two investigations. The official one, bound by procedure, and the public one, driven by emotion and the relentless logic of the crowd. Every large-scale search for a missing person operates on a finite timeline, governed by factors of survivability, resources, and the diminishing probability of a successful rescue. For the search for Monica Resa, that timeline reached its conclusion after 8 days. The official announcement that followed marked a profound and somber turning point, shifting the case from a hopeful rescue mission to a long-term, uncertain investigation. This procedural change, while standard, carried immense weight, fundamentally altering the narrative of the case and the emotional landscape for all involved. On Sunday, June 29, 2025, exactly 1 week after Resa was last seen, Acting Captain Ryan A. Vienna of the Crescenta Valley Station issued a formal statement that officially changed the status of the operation. The language was precise and deliberate. Quoting here, "While today concludes our initial response phase of this operation," the statement read, "the investigation will continue by our homicide."
Yeah, these searches get expensive, and I guess after 8 days, I mean, what are you going to do, right?
Bureau, Missing Persons Unit. End quote. This announcement did not mean the search was over entirely, but that its nature would change. Captain Vienna clarified that future search efforts will be limited and continuous as data and information further inform our efforts, he said. The era of saturation searching, with hundreds of personnel combing the mountainside, was over. It would be replaced by targeted searches, triggered only by new intelligence or specific leads. The mission had officially transitioned from one of active rescue to one of patient investigation and, implicitly, recovery. The transfer of a case to the Homicide Bureau's Missing Persons Unit is a significant development. While the unit handles all complex and long-term adult missing person cases, not just those involving suspected murder, the name itself carries a heavy connotation. For the public following the case, this move was widely interpreted as a sign that authorities no longer expected to find Monica Resa alive. On Reddit, the speculation was immediate. 8 days seemed short, one user wrote, I wonder if they have some strong evidence of foul play. In reality,
8
such a
days.
handover is often a procedural necessity. The Homicide Bureau's Missing Persons Unit is equipped for the slow, meticulous work of a long-term investigation, a task that falls outside the primary mission of a rapid deployment SAR team. Nonetheless,
What do you guys think? 8 days? If there's like no trace, how long? Tell that to the family, I guess, right? But I don't know. It's one of those things.
the public perception was powerful. The transfer signaled that the case had crossed the threshold, moving from the realm of hope into the colder, more methodical world of a potential crime or unexplained death investigation. This narrative shift was mirrored by a poignant change in the public posture of Monica Resa's family. In the first frantic days of the search, official statements consistently relayed that her family is concerned for her well-being and asking for the public's help. This was a plea for mobilization, an attempt to cast as wide a net as possible in the hope of finding her. However, Captain Vienna's June 29 statement included a new and telling message. Quote, "On behalf of the family, we are conveying their request for privacy at this time," end quote. This transition from a public appeal to a privacy request marks the heartbreaking acceptance of a new reality for Monica Resa's family. The phase of public hope had ended, and a period of private grief and uncertainty had begun. The authorities acknowledged this immense emotional weight, with Captain Vienna stating, "Our hearts go out to Monica's family, friends, co-workers, and the community who have shown great concern for her disappearance." The case was no longer an active crisis to be solved by the community, but a heavy burden to be carried by her loved ones and a cold case file to be managed by detectives. The disappearance of Monica Resa, while uniquely tragic to her family and community, is not an anomaly. It's a chapter in the long and unsettling history of the Angeles National Forest as a place where people vanish. The forest's vastness, challenging topography, and remote corners have made it a recurring setting for accidents, crimes, and enduring mysteries. Understanding this context is crucial, as it reveals that the forest is not merely a passive backdrop for these events, but an active agent, if you will, that facilitates disappearances and complicates resolutions. The official list of missing persons in California contained numerous entries tied to the Angeles National Forest, each case a story of a life interrupted by the wilderness. Several notable cases from recent decades illustrate the diverse ways in which the forest can become a place of tragedy. Accidents and environmental dangers. In July 2022, teenage couple Ethan Manzano and Sophie Rayanne Edwards disappeared while driving along the Angeles Crest Highway. Their story ended in tragedy when their Isuzu Ascender was discovered at the bottom of a mountainside. Investigators believe their vehicle hit a berm, lost control, and rolled down the steep embankment, a stark reminder that the roads traversing the forest can be as dangerous as the trails. More recently, in October of 2024, 80-year-old Gary Robert Nutzel went missing while hiking in the Chantry Flat area, which had just reopened after a 4-year closure
I don't
due
think
to the
these people
Bobcat
are
fire.
scientists.
His
I
case,
think
which remains unsolved, highlights how
this
fire-altered
channel
landscapes
covers all
can
types
disorient
of
even local
missing
hikers
people.
and create new, unforeseen hazards. And then there's foul play and concealment. The forest's remoteness has also made it an attractive location for those seeking to conceal criminal acts. In February 1992, 20-year-old model Kimberly Pandelios disappeared after telling her husband she was going to an outdoor photo shoot in the forest. A year later, her partial skeletal remains were discovered just yards from where a witness had seen her with a group of men.
Yikes.
Her case was reclassified as a probable homicide and was eventually solved 12 years after her disappearance when a convicted offender was tied to her demise.
Right. Well, we're not going to go through all of that. I mean, they're kind of getting into different stuff, but I wanted to kind of go back. We were talking about that that couple that they were all found deceased on the mountain in California, and I can't find any recent updates about it, but let's check this out real quick. I don't know who this is, but it's the only one that I can see any. Oh, is she? What is that my fault? Did I do that? Did I do that? Or is she muted? Yeah, she was muted.
That family of 3 who had been reported missing, they've been found deceased along with their dog in the Sierra National Forest. So a friend called in a missing persons report Monday for John Garish, Ellen Chung, and their 1-year-old daughter, Muji. And this is really deja vu for me, too. It's really driving me crazy. I don't know what is going on. The circumstances of their disappearance remain unclear. It's not known how long they were gone, and police haven't confirmed whether the family was supposed to be on a planned hike or a camping trip. While searching for the family, who were traveling with their dog, police first discovered their vehicle near an entrance to the Sierra National Forest. Investigators then found the bodies of all 3 family members and the dog in the remove of Devil's Gulch area near the Merced River. According to local reports, there had been no visible signs of trauma, and investigating agencies, including the California Department of Justice, are treating the area as a hazmat scene. It could be a carbon monoxide situation, says the Mariposa County Sheriff's Office.
Carbon monoxide? Come on, man.
And let's see if we can find out any more information about this. Hold on one second. Pull up something.
Carbon monoxide outside on a mountain.
Okay, go over here. So the Mariposa County Sheriff said they have never seen a death like this. Hold on one second here. Let me get it. Authorities are working to recover the bodies of the family members and their dog. They mysteriously died, they say now, on a hike in rural Mariposa County. The Mariposa County Sheriff's Office said the bodies of John Garish, Ellen Chung, and their 1-year-old daughter Muji were discovered at 11 a.m. on Tuesday. Authorities are still in an active recovery mission.
What case are you talking about, Manya? I missed it there. I don't know.
Now here it says the family was found in the, what does this say? Heights Cove? Hite Cove area of the Sierra National Forest along the South Fork of the Merced River. Now, Jeremy Brise, the sheriff, says there's no indication of blunt force trauma on the scene, and this incident is the first he's seen like it in his 20-year career, which is kind of weird. What if it's poison, right, or something?
Yes.
I've worked in different capacities, but I've never seen
The
a death like
guy,
this.
the girl, the baby, and the dog.
And the sheriff says the department will not rest until investigators determine how Garish, Chung, and their daughter and dog all died while hiking on Monday. The family was reported missing around 11 p.m. Monday night.
Oh, that
The
one.
sheriff said
Yeah.
there are some abandoned mine shafts in the area which can release dangerous gases. However, this has not been ruled as a determining factor. We have not located a mine nearby, but in the beginning of the investigation, when we put out our release, that's why we're taking it slow and methodical for the safety of rescuers. The sheriff also said the trail the family was on had warnings about toxic algae blooms in the Merced River, but it's still too early to determine if that impacted the family. At the beginning, there's some signage about algae blooms, but that's from the Forest Service. I cannot speak to the potential dangers of that, said the sheriff. The family's death is sending a shockwave through the community. A friend of Garish and Chung said off camera the couple owned multiple rental properties in Mariposa. The friend also said that Garish was from the United Kingdom and Chung was from San Diego. Noelle Staub works at a local restaurant in Mariposa where she said that Garish and Chung frequented the restaurant and had befriended all of the staff. She went on to say, I think a great way to describe them would be just universal friends because they just made everyone feel comfortable around them. The California Department of Justice is also assisting with the investigation to help determine the cause of the family's death. The Mariposa County Sheriff's Office said that autopsies and toxicology reports are pending. So if it's not the gases or something, it's probably, I would assume, a poison or something. Let me see what else we can see here. Oh boy, let's see. Let me look at something over here that might be interesting. It's not that. Hang on. Okay, so he was a British Google engineer. Hold on, here's some more information. And here's another photo. Let me get this up.
Sorry,
I'm just trying to get to the new information, not go over what we've already
been trying to bribe the cat over here.
gone in there. So this camping area sits atop several former gold mines. And here is a map. Just taken from Scallywag and Vagabond, and search Sierra National Gate leading to Height Cove. Search teams found the family vehicle here, and they found the family deceased over here. It is Devil's Gulch. It's right there, I guess, and I don't know what the, we can look to go on a Google map. Let's see here.
Oh boy.
So a doctor who's a professor of mining engineering at the University of Utah cast doubt on the theory that carbon monoxide emissions from an old gold mine were possibly to blame for the deaths. He explained that gold mines are not known to produce carbon monoxide, and even if the gas were present, it would have gone up into the air. And they also noted that the family was found outdoors, not in an enclosed space like a tent or anything where it could be lethal. Yeah, I don't think it's carbon monoxide. As of Wednesday afternoon, the bodies of the family remained in the canyon about 2 miles from the trailhead where their vehicle was found. The area is so remote that workers had to leave the area just to get a signal to communicate back to headquarters. The bodies were scheduled to be transported to the medical examiner's office to undergo autopsies tomorrow. If the medical examiner decides to conduct toxicology tests, they could take up to 6 weeks. Garish and Chung were last heard from early Sunday when they uploaded a photo of a backpack. And the family friend said the family hikes on weekends. So he's a British Google engineer.
He was a Google engineer. I didn't even
They
know
drove
that.
a gray Ford Raptor. Garish was a native of Lancashire, England. He worked as a software engineer at Google, and his wife is of Korean descent, but from Orange County, California. She was a yoga instructor prior to her pregnancy and was going to graduate school to become a marriage and family therapist. The company decamped from San Francisco to the area during the coronavirus pandemic after Garish had the opportunity to work from home as a software engineer, Steve Jeffy said. Okay, so let me see here where we go from here now. Well, let's go. Let's see what else we can find out. Hold on one second. Let me just go over here.
There's not much information on this case. Jesus.
Seeing is, I would say that in that podcast, that was horrendous.
I'm not
I
really
found Ellen's page. Let me see here. Let's
really sure what's
Garden of the
going on.
Gods. Who went there? Somebody went Garden of the Gods. Was that Garden of the Gods, Colorado Springs, Colorado? Somebody mentioned that Garden of the Gods. I'm having like seriously deja vu. Garden of the Gods. Okay, let's
Thank you, Mel. As usual, thank you very much.
let's go back here. Hold on, let me move this over here for a second.
The dog is well. All the people you see in
Messages down here.
in that picture right there.
I don't want anybody's messages.
This
popping up
young
while
couple, the baby
listening to
and the
creators.
dog, all at
That.
once, with
Don't anyone send me a
no
Facebook message because your message will pop up, but it didn't. So because I
no injuries, nothing, just dead on the mountain.
about
Wild.
albums. Okay, she has stuff in it's 119 pages in her albums, but she only has 2 photos that show. She doesn't list any families or relationships. Trees, which is really pretty.
It's a Facebook, I guess.
And I don't think it would just work like that.
Yeah, Mo, the dog too. Which is just, you know, come on. Super strange.
Very strange. Let me see. Let me go back to the chat and see if any of you are saying anything. What would you think? There was a mentally ill woman here. Okay. Has a sore hand from ripping away wrenches. I would say some type of gas. Well, the hazmat was there in case the old mines that they're on top of. But again, we just heard from a doctor that said that's highly, highly unlikely. So location is a big clue far away from anyone's speed. I don't think it's any kind of carbon monoxide. I don't think it's I really don't think it's foul play. I think it's
Yeah, the only thing that they can come up with is like they're like, oh, could it be like this poison gas came through the air, you know, and some algae that's in a pond a quarter mile away. They just never were able to nail anything down.
a decision to take themselves out. I think it was. In my opinion, I do. We'll see what happens when the toxicology comes back.
Take themselves out. There's no.
No,
And this might be very early on.
Like
Maybe
that,
he
no, not
doesn't
like,
know
not like that, not like this.
how everything came back, but
I think what kind of poison wouldn't cause like you know,
my theory on this, I don't even have one.
Because if it's cyanide, that they would be able to see that. That would be horrendous, and it's a horrible, horrible death. It's not nice.
I don't know. I don't even have a theory because there's nothing there.
I think they wanted. I don't know. I'm getting the feeling that they wanted to be in a place like that. They wanted it to be peaceful, and they wanted to go together somehow.
Yeah,
that's what I just think. I think
Zach, I read the
lockdown. You know, the world is crazy. People are killing each other. They don't want to be there anymore. Maybe I don't know.
I followed him for a while, and then he lost his son, and he really, I mean, obviously, he kind of went off the deep end a little bit, and kind of, come on, Brando, you're killing me, buddy. He just wants to he can't dig in any further than he already is here, and he's getting pissed. Yeah, Dave Politis, missing 411. Can-Am, missing.
Hi, Tammy. Sorry you had a hard day. So did I. Heart made wise, very bad water. Somehow they all could have consumed. Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think so.
All right, Brando. Okay. I'm sorry.
I don't think so. I honestly
doing good for you to know. Sorry.
I honestly think it's going to be something
so spoiled
from their own hand. I just feel like it is. I wish I could see some posts of how they felt about how things were going on in the world and stuff.
Yeah,
that was at
Zach, his son
on the decision.
Ben.
Well, I don't think the baby really had any choice in the matter.
Unalive
Had any choice in the matter. The liquid poison does not leave anything to see used for cars. Oh, are you talking about the antifreeze? What do you mean used for cars?
These people here are dead. All four of them. No signs of injury, nothing. Dead on a mountain in an afternoon. Just
yeah, I think it was something. They don't say whether they found. We don't know what they found. Maybe they did find a bottle of something. Who knows?
They didn't. No, they did not.
I'm thinking if I had to make a decision, if somebody said how, that's what I would say.
Toxicology came back.
Well,
nothing.
he's a Google whiz. Maybe there is something he wrote about. Maybe there is something he wrote about the state of the world.
I've looked for
another photo of them.
I've looked for updates on this from time to time, and there just isn't anything. I mean, young couple, And
it says their daughter's name is Aurelia Mishu. mines in the area, and in an abundance of caution, which means we don't really think it could happen, or our recovery team is taking precautions for any poisonous gases or particles in the area. So far, there's been no measurable poisons registered.
Yeah, so she must have made this like right after this happened, because everything came back and like nothing. They just don't know anything. I mean, they're literally like I don't know. Is there like poisonous gas going through the air? Like, what could do this?
Instagram. Okay, EC Hungster. Or this is hers. This is hers. So this is Ellen Chungster. But there's lots of photos of them here. So
Yeah, well,
here
sad.
we have Happy Birthday, Jonathan. Okay, now look, the little girl's first birthday was August 4th. So it's right after August 4th. On August 4th at 2:48, our little being was born. Welcome to
Brando just might get his own channel.
Mishu Chung Garish. We are tired, sleepless, but mostly glowing with love.
He just might get it. He's thinking of selling his feet pics on OnlyFans.
Of 2020. She's talking about the pregnancy. I'm unbelievably grateful for the opportunity to deeply immerse myself in pre-postnatal treatment.
None, you know, it's not
Pregnancy is
volcanic
not
there.
talked about and rather stigmatized and pathologized.
No, there was an old gold mine up there, but I mean, come
potentially
on.
feeling all sorts of anxieties and fears.
Even the
sometimes
dudes in,
over
you
our
know,
experience, we're even too scared to love our babies fully. But
in
as
the
our
gold
loving
mine,
teacher,
I mean, that was the
Hasta Yoga
thing.
said this week, what can be more sad
Canary in the
than
coal
not being
mine,
able
they
to love
send a
instead of
canary in
feeling
there
fear?
to
Let's rather learn to trust. We have what it takes to endure whatever
you
is
know,
to come.
old gold
I
mine,
return
like
enlivened, empowered, and inspired to fully support the
pumping
moms in
out
my
enough
classes through the practice community.
carbon
And most
monoxide to
importantly,
kill
compassion. We will show these fears to
three
its
people
boss.
and a dog on a mountain.
Let us love boundlessly. Happy International Women's Day.
It's just so crazy.
So she's feeling renewed, and this is
That's very sad. She goes,
a wedding with so many loves.
she's going through the Facebooks and stuff. I mean, really. Ah, poor doggy.
The dog was not a young dog, I guess, because it's a long time. How many years? $373 weeks ago. So the dog's at least 7, 8 years old, maybe.
Yeah, I wanted to look at this real quick. I didn't hear of that, Nanya.
Let's see, when's the first picture of him?
All right, let me,
It's not OSL depression. Maybe that's not her brother. So she had the dog first. That other guy's still in the picture. Is this the first picture of the new guy? Thanks, America, for the best weekend ever camping. Is that him? That doesn't look like him, does it? But I think that was the end of the relationship with the other guy. Because here he is.
all right, we're going to get petty in a minute, people.
Look, there he is.
Stuff's kind of heavy, is it not? I know, the poor little dog, huh? I mean, it's a baby as well. I mean, it's all just terrible. Young couple. Very sad. Very, very sad. All right.
Other thing.
All right. Thank you, ma'am.
You wouldn't have gone on a dangerous trip.
Stop what you're doing. No,
Once
go
you
here
join
and
all one
like and subscribe to this lady.
So here comes someone that knows them a little bit. Says, this precious family was dear to my heart. I had the honor of helping them purchase a home when they were expecting Mishu. We stayed in touch as they owned several vacation rentals as well. Jonathan admitted to me he was addicted to buying homes here as they love what they found in the people and community of Mariposa. Our last showings, Jonathan would put Mishu on his shoulder and
All right, we're going to get petty, folks.
to explore the land.
Let's see what these dummies have to say.
When I asked if they considered having another
so Chris was at his place of business where he should be, right? And Jen's sister was actually downtown having dinner when I think Alan had walked into the waterfall. So that's how that happened. And so you're going to see here, we're going to go into what happens with these Facebook groups, but she is saying to him, did you see they took a photo of us from inside D&E? And then she says the next message is the justice page. So we're going to get into a lot of what happens with the Facebook groups. If you've been following me or probably anybody on this panel, you know that the Facebook groups were really important to Karen. And there was a big controversy with the Facebook groups. And that is how Aiden's group got started. Nick Rocco started that group. So,
and not just Karen, Alan Jackson was very much directing and advising how that should go.
Yeah. And we have some pictures of Karen that night. We should have a slide with some pictures of Karen. Pictures that she ends up sending to Aiden. So
Oh my God, the vocal fry.
I believe they're across the street from D&E. We're going to talk about these plates a little bit later, but yeah. And so Karen is saying that it's on the justice page. And according to Karen, and this is really important, I want you to remember what Karen says that they said, because this is going to change. Aiden changes it. So Karen says, called the ABC producers douchebags and cunts. They're 24-year-old girls from court. And again, she says the justice page. So she's worried about something that's been posted to this group. The justice page is, at that point, it is run by a woman named Bianca. And Sean McDonough is very involved in that group.
Never going to end.
So now we get to the one, probably our favorite.
They're just hoping there's such a thing as trial 3 and like triple jeopardy somehow makes it back into the Constitution. They're just hoping on that so badly.
My favorite signal message. This is when Karen is outside Higgins' house. And I think we have some pictures of the PI again with this one. So they're sitting outside of Higgins' house. They have sent Sarah Ness to the door.
Oh,
to
no.
speak to Higgins. And she responds to Aiden by saying sorry in the car with lawyers, stirring shit up again. Some of these, I mean, we'll read them, but they don't really matter.
Or Higgins. I mean, hasn't he been through enough? Like Proctor.
Whatever he had responded to her, she says, oh, and sends a photo. And then she says there were 2 photos from inside D&E. So obviously,
yeah, by the way, all of this shit brought to you by Manson Lamps. The extraction has been brought to you by Manson Lamps. Get all your phone extraction needs and hacking from 5150.
It was posted. She has assumed that they came from inside D&E. And she's upset about that. And then she says, Jen's sister took a video of whole thing, and everyone is saying it's posted to MAO. And that's another MAO. No, it's not. It's a Facebook group, but it is. It is that same Facebook group. Sorry. And then she had asked for Sarah Levinson's address. And if you guys remember, Ginny had that great picture of the note that they left, confirming that it was indeed Sarah Ness that had gone to Sarah Levinson's store too. And then let's see. Let me see. I'm just looking at our guide.
Stop what you're doing.
Then we have Jenna Rocco enters the conversation. And so she says Jenna Rocco may have saved screenshots. And then we have Nick. And so you're going to see interspersed in what we've put together here, the influence of some of the other people that were involved in this whole circus and really generating all this energy around this mob of people and this story that they had created. And so obviously Nick is responding to what happened outside of D&E that Karen is also talking about. And he says, wow, they think they own the fucking street now. Did any one of her people film them? When she does shit like that, she needs you or someone there to film these motherfuckers. I mean, Nick's a tough guy, right?
Right.
Yeah. And so then Karen is again explaining what happened. And she says that Denise and Bob Galvin followed us and filmed us with their phones. And if you recall from the show that we did about this weekend, the day prior, a woman who had been at that rally at the courthouse outside of that hearing got all riled up and went to Jen McCabe's home. And Denise was there. And so they drove by her house. They were shouting at her. So Denise had just witnessed the day prior this happening to her sister. And so So yeah, so to me, their reaction probably is a normal reaction people would have. I mean, you know, you've got these things happening, and then they're again showing up in Canton, and they're showing up in front of D&E and showing up at the waterfall. And I think Alan Jackson had walked into the waterfall. I mean, he had made his presence known that they were there. And so, according to Karen, what Denise and Bob say is they asking me how I sleep at night, telling Alan to go back to LA, saying get out of my town. And again, I don't think that is a horrible. I think that's a pretty normal reaction. It's probably the reaction I would have if it was my sibling. I don't know what you guys think, but it's probably what I would say. And then she sends a photo.
Too bad you live in Indiana and like have no ties to any of this, but you're such a lunatic.
Then she says, Carol, and we all know who Carol is. Carol is another woman who lives in Canton, who is very much a part of sending information to Aiden, sending pictures, giving background information. She's right along there with Rita. And Nick says, I'm trying to get the other pic from Joyce, but the other kid, Manny, posted it, but he blocked me, so I can't get it from him. Once Joyce answers me, I will have it. So do you see all this stuff that's going on to get these pictures for Karen? Because she doesn't want them.
In real time.
In real time, yeah. All these people are involved in it.
In real time.
And then we do have a slide with this.
Don't let Jimmy hear that.
This person. So Brad Goldstein is a friend of Karen's. He's been a friend of Karen's for a long time. There's Brad and there's John Silvera. They were very much a part of everything that was going on. Yeah, and so this is Sarah, and this is Sarah at Higgins' door, and then we have, obviously we know that Karen went over to One Meadows that day too. And so this is Brad Goldstein, and so his response about the stairs, because remember that we had told you they had taped off part of the stairs so that people could get in and out of court, and they did not like that. Brad says, do we have an ACLU complaint about the court steps being blocked off? I was going to chat with an attorney about that on Monday. So Brad and John and those people were involved in those kinds of things. On the right side of the screen, it's my right side, there's a comment from John Silvera. It's a really nasty comment to this woman who was supporting the O'Keeffes. And
everything that's done on this is just nasty, vile, disgusting, just everything.
On social media, kind of following, you know, the people that were supporting the O'Keeffes and the witnesses around and just making nasty comments. So that's what John, her friend, was doing. So they had been doing this before they were organized with Aiden. I just don't think it was picking up any kind of reaction. You know what I mean? Like it was big. Yep. And then we have Karen again, and she is saying they live a mile from D&E. I'm assuming she's talking about the Galvins, but I don't know that for sure.
Yeah, that's how I read it.
Yeah, yeah. And then she says they got off Facebook, as far as I can tell. And then she says to him, what's it about? I'm with Alan. So again, now we know for sure Alan is in that car. Alan was with her when she went to Higgins, and we know that Higgins was represented, and he should not be going and sending private investigators up to the door. He was sitting with her in that car outside of the O'Keeffe's home, where she had a restraining order. She couldn't be there. Alan Jackson is along for the ride and doing all these things with Karen.
Yeah, it's not like he can claim he didn't know about the restraining order.
Nope. And then Karen says, oh, and then we got Nick again.
Yeah, the vocal fry
comes in with, we need people to create a store. You guys remember they had that popcorn stuff?
Yes.
And so Nick was very much involved in the fundraising aspect of this. And I think we're going to go into it right now. We've got some things to show you from the Roccos about how they were fundraising, and Nick and Jenna were pretty much heading this up. So this is a video of Alan. Let's go ahead and play it. There's a few things that go along with this.
Hi, it's AJ. I wanted to take a quick second to thank all of the supporters who have given us so much energy and boosted our morale for so long in defense of Karen Reed. Both Karen and I and the rest of the defense team could not do what we do on a daily basis if it weren't for you folks. And we want to take an opportunity to thank you in person, to have a unique opportunity to have a dinner with you, to have a conversation with you, to let you into to sort of behind the scenes of what it takes to build a defense like this, what it takes to continue along the track that we're continuing, to have that no quit attitude at all times. And I'll tell you a secret, it comes from you guys. So I'm looking very forward to meeting some of you in person, to sharing a nice, intimate dinner with you, to answering your questions, and really having a dialogue. But the main thing is to thank you for what you've done, what you continue to do. We couldn't be here if it weren't for you. We wouldn't be here if it weren't for you. So on behalf of the entire Reed defense team, thank you so much, and I look forward to meeting you in person.
Oh my God.
He does not look forward to meeting them.
As Karen's team gears up for the retrial, Karen and Alan would love to take a moment to personally thank and break bread with a few supporters,
without whom this defense train could not keep running. The financial and emotional generosity of so many strangers is testament to the goodness in our county and in our country amid such awesome corruption.
We're almost there, but Karen really needs our help, so please consider participating if you can. Click the link below for the chance to secure your seat at the table.
Please act now, because the giveaway is closing very, very soon. 100% of your donation will go directly to support Karen's legal defense.
All of you have been nothing short of amazing, so thank you from the bottom of our hearts.
Yeah, so they kept calling it a giveaway. It was not a giveaway, it was a raffle.
No.
So here you and they say it several times that they are actual raffles. But you've got this attorney who is financially benefiting from illegal activities that they are doing on behalf of his client. It is absolute
textbook
insanity. I cannot believe this
Karen
happened.
Reed PR for
And I had contacted Boston 25, who did an extensive story about illegal raffles on Facebook when it was guns. So
the giveaways.
they actually reported on that then. And I pointed out to them that there were hundreds, if not thousands, of these illegal raffles happening in the Karen Reed Facebook groups, and they didn't seem interested in reporting on it.
Yeah, interesting.
Earl Pink Grace, we know her. This is just utterly bizarre and tasteless for a murder defendant and her team to behave this way.
It was a raffle that Nick came up with, and just really, what would you? I don't even know what to say about this. We've got a drunk driving case where a man has been killed, and this knucklehead is giving away alcohol as a prize for the raffle.
No, I know.
I don't even know what to say to that. Like, what are you people doing?
It's a
giving away.
It is a large criminal organization.
Yeah, this is really small. If somebody wants to read it, it's Nick, and it looks like he's talking about everything that he's done.
Yeah, I can see it.
And to be fair, he is kind of a dick.
A few days to reflect on everything that has happened. The last 2.5 years, the majority of us have been fighting for justice to free Karen Reed. And on June 18th, the outcome we'd all hoped for has finally come. The words "not guilty" were said inside the courtroom, and the feeling of relief that came over my body is indescribable. At that moment, he said undescribable. At that moment, everything that we had done to help support Karen Reed was justified. Every dollar, fundraiser, conversation, argument at that moment was all worth it. When I got involved in this case, I was watching Aiden's show and decided I wanted to help her, and that's what I did. I made a goal of $5,000, and today I'm proud to say through the efforts of this group and everybody who had given me things to run as a giveaway, I reached a total of $532,321. I'm sure that number will continue to grow large as well. The first giveaway I ran was some shampoo and conditioner
Put the number
I had at my
on
hair
the
salon.
side, they can really write.
At that moment, never did I imagine that come to the end of this, I would be sitting in a room with the defense team as we wait for the verdict. I've created memories that will last a lifetime. Walking out of the courthouse and hearing the cheers and seeing all the supporters out there was something I'll never forget. I've met a lot of great people during the past 2 years, and some of those include the defense team. I had the honor to get to have conversations with Alan, Bob, and David whenever I wanted, and even got to keep Alan and Bob looking fresh with haircuts throughout their THERE time. They were here living in Boston. A lot of things happened behind closed doors that I was allowed to be a part of, and I'm forever grateful to be included. Being on court TV wasn't on my to-do list, but I'm glad you all trusted me, right? Night after night to go on there and be the voice for all of us that supported Karen. To all the members in this group, thank you. If it wasn't for you, all the efforts I put into fundraising would have been mute.
Thanks for being a mod for
going and allow the defense team to go without needing things because they had the money to do it. Running this group has had its ups and downs, but we managed to get through it all as it continues to grow. From the very beginning, you guys always brought my ideas to light the billboards, the mobile billboard truck, you name it. You all had a hand in it. I wouldn't have been able to do anything if I didn't have the members of this group. We built a strong community within this group, unlike anything I've ever seen or been a part of before. So thank you again. We built an army of support behind Karen, and it all paid off. We did it. Karen Reed is free. I did not see John's name in here once. I don't know about y'all.
Nope.
Did you guys ever watch? It was a podcast, and then I think there was a TV series done on it. But the Scamanda.
Oh yeah, that's a great podcast.
This kind of reminds me of that in a way, like watching that video, because we have a woman who is drinking and driving. We have all that tech data, right, that shows that she did reverse at an extreme throttle.
Off of key cycle 1162, which is impossible, but go ahead.
And then we have them running this campaign on the backs of the idea of corruption, and the corruption was never found. And so the corruption was this cancer, right? It's very similar in the sense, and we still have not found corruption. They won't acknowledge this, right? Because they keep mixing in the misconduct found as corruption and then equating that to Karen being framed for murder. And those of us who can understand the actual definitions and logically analyze this from different angles,
inference to
we know, just kind of like that officer in that video that had just
Monday
spoken.
or Tuesday, whatever the fuck.
I don't know if you guys know his name, but we were just talking about it, that Carrie had posted where he discussed that there was no corruption found.
Yeah,
It's no,
it's a great video.
Yeah, if you guys go to Carrie Lama's Twitter, if you're on Twitter, it's a really great video. But again, this kind of this reaffirmed notion of like there was no conspiring found, right? We found stuff. We found some misconduct and things that we need to work on. But anyways, it just kind of reminds me of the Scamanda thing in its own way. Notion of like there was no conspiring found, right? We found stuff. We found
She saw it. She goes, there was no conspiring found there. I mean,
things that we need to work on, but ways. It just kind of reminds me of the Scamanda thing in its own way.
Yeah. I mean, look what they made on that Allen dinner, right? That raffle for the dinner with Allen. over
They
$20,000.
hate
They
when
raffled off
people
a
make
dinner
money.
with Karen's parents. That was 10 grand.
Hate it.
Look at all these things. And they, you have it in black and white that they're doing these raffles. Look at the income that it generated for this group. I mean, you think about it, if
Yeah.
they were,
People love the cause.
selling drugs.
Right.
And it's an illegal activity. I mean, you cannot run a raffle like this. And they did it,
It's a giveaway.
just so boldly.
Yep.
With no fear.
Right. And now we know that's because no one would do anything about it, even when they found out about it.
Yep.
We need to
Yep.
work on. Yeah.
Yeah. And so we have in these messages here too. There's some meaningless ones
Cope.
where Karen
The
says
cope,
too and what
as
came
they
of that.
say.
But we have
Another
this
word I don't get.
person, I believe this is a Facebook message, Laura Elizabeth, who I believe is like his producer who kind of like runs things on his show. And she says, at Clarence, the Roccos are auctioning off Pat tickets for tonight. So again, got another raffle going here. I mean, I don't even know what to say about this.
And there's a clip later I think it was still during the trial, but there's a clip from Aiden's show where someone brought up to them that raffles were illegal. And he says, he's talking about one of the raffles, and he says, okay, so we're having this raffle for, giveaway. It's not a raffle. So you can tell, and he's like smirking.
Yeah.
You can tell at some point someone gave them some
It's a giveaway.
advice about
Say that. I mean, you can call it whatever you want. It doesn't change
It's a giveaway.
exactly what it is. You know what I mean?
Could you imagine though, like Koberger being like, "Hey, earn a dinner with me and my attorney."
Well, yeah. I mean, but she did that with
Only Lana could think about being a pro burger. But he pleaded guilty to murdering 4 people. There's kind of a difference there, don't you think, ladies?
These too, right? I mean,
Right.
those
Fair
I don't have evidence that
comparison.
those were raffled off, but they were certainly given to people that Karen thought were
there was one in
benefiting
the
from their
Facebook group.
efforts. There was
one in the Facebook group where they talked about raffling off a seat.
I don't know if they actually ever did it though. I mean,
yeah, I don't know if they did it, but I mean, there was chatter about it.
Yeah.
But and Tuesday, that's that is the difference between being a male criminal and being a female criminal too, I think, because
Yeah.
I don't think it would have landed the same way if it had been Koberger.
Well, I don't know if Sarah
Koberger pled guilty, you fucking idiots.
Boone would be able to
my
make it
God.
raffle.
Yeah, I think she was universally.
I think you need to be you have to be a professional.
Well, if you think she got away with murder and got acquitted, maybe OJ, but Koberger is not a good comparison.
Skinny,
Yeah.
murder defendant.
So we're gonna see with these next messages. We're starting to have some discord in the Facebook group, and Karen says, "I just hung up on him. What the fuck?" And I'm pretty sure she's talking about Sean McDonough here.
Yeah.
And she's like, "He drives me nuts." Tune. She meant too. And then she says, "It's actually true." I think we're gonna get some context here about what is actually true. And we talked about this before as well. You cannot talk about this at all. It could get blown. The FBI is headed there. Neighbor has ring of him leaving his house at 2:30 a.m. Please don't mention this in any way. They wouldn't hand it over, so we called the feds. And then she says, "He's insane. I agree. And what the fuck is he talking about? You have cracked the case open. What's missing? Who punched John? When? We may never know," which is so weird because she's already said,
Right.
And then she says, "Okay, I can't keep track. My head is mush right now." And then she says, "I just wouldn't want you posting
Their heads are mush too.
today, tomorrow, and the feds think we told them and then shared it with you." Interesting. Can I ask you to use this version of the photo? So here she's telling him what photos to use, what he should be posting. And we went over this, and you guys saw that picture with the yellow plates. This is Nathan helping himself to his employer's property. And she says, because we may have borrowed it off the Lexus lot, and it's got bright yellow Rhode Island dealer plates. The manager of the entire auto park where my brother works reads your blogs religiously, but I don't think he's on the justice side. So again, we're going back to these Facebook groups. There's a photo that Karen needs down off the Facebook group because it might get Nathan in trouble. And she's like, it would be huge. And Aiden is actively with these other people trying to track this photo down. Who posted it? Get rid of it. And so she's like, it would be hugely appreciated. I know it's not ideal. I'm sorry to ask. I don't want my brother to stress. I'll owe you one. I'll give you an additional pick. Wow. It's just wild to me. And then she's like, this isn't great, but you can use if you want. You can say a car driving by took this photo. So here they are. This is a lie, right?
Yep.
She's giving him things for his reporting. And she's like, here's the lie. The lie is you just got that from somebody going down the street.
Right.
Yeah.
He can't even make up his own lies.
No,
Karen needs
it's
to make
giving him
up
the lie.
lies.
And then she says it's down the road a little ways. I don't know if she's talking about the Galvins there. I'm not 100% sure. And then she says, I don't know. They wouldn't give it to us. We're back to that tape, right? Supposedly this neighbor with this ring videotape. We're back to that. And then she says, please don't blog about it yet. So she does control the blog, clearly. She's like, you're not going to publish this yet. And he's like, okay, I'm not. I'd rather you didn't say it was Kevin's neighborhood. That is Kevin Albert. This is who they're trying to say was out in front of the house with that edge. And supposedly this neighbor has video of him leaving in the middle of the night in the edge. And she says, I'd rather you didn't say it was Kevin.
People have brought him up, but nobody is like, oh, that's definitely Kevin Albert's Forward Edge. Nobody said that.
Kevin's neighborhood. I really don't want to piss the feds off or blow it up before they can get over there. Kevin Albert will know when he sees the photo. This one was interesting to me when I first read it. I thought Karen was talking about her own father. She's clearly not. It's in quotes. Aiden must have said something to her in reply.
This is the kind of people they get in their chat, because I have on the iPad over here, I have their chat blowing up so I can read it. This is from I Go by Steph, yo. Sometimes I wonder if Karen threw the glass at John as he exited the vehicle. Is there a way to rule that out? All right, forget it. Oh, look at this, Jen Duso. Jen Duso just showed up in the chat.
To this text where she had asked him not to show it because it was Kevin's neighborhood. And
Hey, LG.
I'm assuming this is the response as far as giving over the video. It's quote unquote, my dad does not want to be involved. So it seems to me like maybe a kid said they had that, or someone living in that home. Obviously, I'm not going to say that it's like a minor child, but.
Well, I made the joke that Tuesday should have been named Monday because she sucks.
Whoever's child this dad belongs to is the one that is involved in this videotape.
Yeah.
And she says, no one has seen the footage. So let me understand this. No one has seen this footage, but we know for sure that it's Kevin Albert leaving in the middle of the night. It's crazy to me. And you would think like at that point, like you'd be like, what are you talking about? How do you know it's on the video if no one's seen it? It doesn't make any sense.
Well, it's the same as the footage from the Sallyport and all those things that they had not seen, but they were certain were exculpatory. This is how Karen operates.
Yes.
Our brain works.
Yes. And so this Sean here in this next message, I'm so sorry, you guys, I'm so tired, is Sean McDonough. No one has seen the footage. Someone told Sean.
Papa Sean, they love bringing up Papa
it
Sean.
shows is Albert's Edge leaving at 2:30 a.m. And then she replies, I don't know who that person is. And now we have Sean coming in, right? So now remember, we've got this problem with the Facebook group because we've got this picture out there that Karen does not want anyone seeing. And we've got this whole thing about this video. And so Sean says talking right now. So I'm assuming he's talking to Karen. And Karen says, the owners made it sound like they have something. And then she says, and she's talking about Sean. He is insane. I agree. And what the fuck is he talking about? This is another one. This one is out of order. I'm sorry, you guys. You correct.
Get it together, Giraffe.
Thank you for saying that. We feel that way about you. I've talked about this before. So this is Karen telling Aiden how wonderful he is and how everyone in her family loves him. Thank you for saying that. We feel that way about you. You've given a shit ton of strength to my family. My dad stays up and watches every TV show, no matter how tired he is. I told you when I was starting to fry at 6 a.m.
They don't. They just are reading this and they're just, they think they know everything. Everybody's evil and disgusting and vile, and everything over there is perfect, and victims and harassment and intimidation and cult-like mentality and coercive control. Buzzwords.
Look, I get,
used.
There are parents that will do anything for their children. I don't know how this man sat there and listened to the things that Aiden Carney said about Mrs. O'Keefe, about Paul O'Keefe. Later on, the things he says about John, these witnesses, like this man is sitting there listening to all of this. And at the same time, he's, I don't know. I don't know. What do you guys think about that?
I have gotten the impression,
myself.
this is obviously my opinion only, but I have gotten the impression that Bill Reed did not care for John. I feel like, I don't know if he didn't like Karen dating him, or if
why would you say
he somehow
that?
became angry with John after John had died, whatever it is.
They also hate Bill Reed. They hate Nathan Reed with a vengeance. But, leave Bill Reed alone. He's never done anything to you fucking crazy ass people.
No empathy, no sadness for his family. I mean, even if Karen was framed, per se, like their theory is, how do you hate on the fact that this family lost their son? And it's not there. I mean, it's not there with Karen either. It's very fake when you see, it's very empty when you see these words, and almost propaganda like when they are said. But yeah,
propaganda.
It's odd. I just
Not
don't.
what propaganda
And so I
is,
feel like it's
fucking
easy for him
idiot.
to just be like, yeah, fuck all those people.
Yeah.
It's the same personality type. Like I feel like they're such similar personalities that it feels like it's me or Jen. And it's the same thing. If he's going to choose between the O'Keefes and Karen, he's going to choose Karen, and he's going to do whatever it takes.
True, Nanya, that's
to,
true.
Choose his little snowflake.
Yeah. And then we have this next signal message from Karen, and she says, Ugh, I know. I stopped here on the way home, and some girl that was in dirty sweatpants and slippers at 4 p.m. stopped to confront me about drinking and driving.
They
I had to
have
smile
this
and walk
one
away.
person
I
over
effing hate
there.
that. I'd like to buy that girl a cup of
Girl,
coffee. I think that's
Pete
great.
Gray.
And here she is saying
Crazy.
the way this person was dressed. Did she
She'll read
take a
it
look
to
outside the courthouse? The people that were giving her money
narcissist.
and doing all this stuff. Did she take a look at those people? Because it sounds like somebody that was standing outside the courthouse.
And that's what I was saying about the fundraising video where Alan Jackson's like, I cannot wait to sit down with you weirdos with your pom-poms and your duck outfits and have a nice intimate dinner. First of all, he didn't do that because they handpicked all the winners for those dinners.
But do we know
Alan
that?
Jackson doesn't like those
How do we know that they handpicked the winners?
Well, because they always ended up being Esty and
well, Esty never won. Esty went as a guest. Rich Schiffer won.
Right, Rich.
Yeah, I think that was before we knew about the ducks though, when Rich won. So I don't know.
I'm talking about people like John Camo and people like Rita. Like I just don't see Alan Jackson being like, I can.
I don't understand how a father could allow his kid to ruin so many people's lives in order to get away with something she did.
Not wait to have dinner with these people.
Right.
I mean, it's just not a thing.
Yeah.
And then she's describing that exact same thing, but making it sound like it's somebody who doesn't like her.
Right. And then she sends him. We're going to start to get into some of the arguments going on with the Facebook groups here. And so Karen sent a photo. And this next message is they're taking advantage of the position I'm in. She's sharing all my private messages, which means she saved them all because I had them on Signal on auto delete. She's talking about the intermediary here.
He was doing streams on like Barry, whatever his name is, on X. That whole thing just sailed over. I don't care about it. I don't understand any of it.
There is also an argument. It is not in these messages. There's an argument between the intermediary and Aiden. And what had happened was the intermediary had the wiretap of Stanley. And she had shared it with Nick Rocco, and Aiden finds out about it this weekend as well. And so there's an argument there. And then we see Sean and the Golf come back in, and he's like, Aiden, Karen is fine with this. Aiden, these guys are a tough nut. They are pissed about the way things went down 2 weeks ago. They understand the issue with Bianca, but even they thought the raffles and the other stuff was interfering with the content we were trying to get out. So here's the issue. Aiden and Karen wanted the fundraising stuff in the social media groups. Yes. They also wanted information about the federal investigation and specifically about the grand jury. Sean and the, I think he calls them the five guys, the men that he was working with that they appear to be, or at least he says that they're retired law enforcement. They had an issue with those things and they did not think that they should be posted. And so now they're arguing about the Facebook groups, and Sean says, I'm not, you chose to leave. I had no say. I actually thought you would understand. That's not what's happening here. So there's an argument happening about the Facebook group with Sean and Aiden. We do have some videos. We have 2 videos with Aiden talking about the groups. So this happens this very night that they have this argument. This is Aiden. He gets very, very upset and he goes live to talk about the arguments.
It's such a weird interface. I feel so bad. This freeze frame is hilarious, though.
Yeah, it is.
Julia, give me just a second and I'll pull it up from the other. I don't know why it's not playing from here, but I can pull it from your stuff that you sent me.
Okay.
If you guys want to keep talking.
Yeah, I'll throw the other one up. I've got another one that had happened that I'm going to throw up. This is him talking about the Facebook groups. This is before this argument. But we'll listen to that.
I really enjoy reading it every day. I think it's up to like 11, maybe 12,000 members now. And that's really cool. Now, the other day, somebody made a comment. I forget the exact comment. There's something about
the cackling is next level.
That's in the grand jury for this meeting every Thursday. Yeah. Okay. And that comment was deleted. And there seems to be some confusion over that. Because, and I've messaged several people about this and they're not getting it. And that's what we need to do in Impromptu Life. This message needs to be made. If somebody makes a comment about giving information about a federal grand jury, that comment needs to stay up. Like, do not take comments like that down, please. I know it's a private page, but again, if we're trying to help her and help them win this case, do not take comments like that down. I see comments like that, I can contact that person and I can have a conversation with them privately. Okay? Or they can have it up there. And about several people message me and send me screenshots of like, oh, I found this thing, this code online, and it's against this and this and this. You're not a lawyer, okay? This is sometimes these groups get a lot of hand where people start thinking that they're detectives and they start thinking they're lawyers. And that's when you're going against the cause that you're supposedly, working on behalf of. Okay? You're not, none of us are lawyers. Alan Jackson stated in open court on May 3rd that there is a grand jury investigation. Kevin Reddington has been very vocal that there is a grand jury investigation. This is not a secret. I get emails all the time from people who serve on federal and state grand juries. They're not supposed to, yeah. But that's the beauty. That's fucking Turtle Boy. That's what Turtle Boy is all about. Is like, I get sources that no one else gets. Like, that's the whole purpose of this thing. Okay. And it affects nothing. I don't care how many screenshots you send me, how many links you send me. When I say trust me, I've spoken to people about this. I know what I'm talking about. And I can say with 100% confidence that the defense probably wants those comments up there because they do not know anything that's going on in the grand jury. So they can find bits and pieces of information. You don't think they're following that page? You don't think they look at that page like a hawk looking for new information? So if they're looking at that and they're seeing things on there that they don't know about, that's very fucking helpful to them. That is a million times more helpful than anybody posting their theories.
Yeah.
There is so much in that clip.
Yeah. And
spirit fingers.
This stress enough how important this Facebook machine was for Karen and this campaign. And so the group that Aiden and Nick go on to create, you know, there was so much defamation in that group.
Yep.
They were posting things about witnesses that, you know, horrible things. And they were, what's the word? Like they were encouraging it. They were encouraging it. That's what it was. But they used that as a form of media, in addition to his blogs and his lives, to get their version of events into the public sphere. So
and he's spelling that out here like a good commentator. He's like, they need this to be in the public's, you know, because it's set to a public Facebook group, so anybody can Google it or whatever. None of the posts are private. He's saying the attorneys need this, you bozos, so stop deleting it.
Yeah,
I have this on, I wrote an article on how he is this cult, right? And this is a clip that is in there. The way he's like, you know, use your brain and trust me.
Oh,
trust me.
Here comes
you know, basically
becomes the cult content. Here we go.
Like, don't do what you think. You're not a lawyer. Trust me. And it's just, it's wild.
Yeah. Ginny, do you have the other one from that day?
Cult.
I do. Give me just a second because StreamYard does not like the format of the video. So
I hate when that happens.
Yeah, I'm pulling it from Dropbox, but let me unshare my other screen and share that one.
Cult 45.
Yeah, I mean, these Facebook groups were so important to this machine that they created.
Get
you
it.
cannot
You just said
downplay
that.
them in any way. They were vital. They were a vital part of their machine.
And I just find it so interesting that Alan, you know, shows up in the messages so often talking about his preference, you know, Karen relaying how important it was to Alan Jackson that there be one Facebook group, and just how intimately involved he was in the social media PR campaign.
Yes.
They didn't come to drive-in. They don't allow fundraising in the group. That's all you need to know. Without money, there's nothing. In case you missed the last hearing about the bail reduction, the problem is financial. The problem is money. Okay? And if you're not allowing fundraising, then you're part of the fucking problem. You're on Team Albert. Enough is fucking enough. Okay? So you do whatever you want. If you want to be in pro-post groups, fine. Knock yourself out. Just understand that's fucking part of the problem. Okay? You're hurting the cause. And maybe you're not seeing the big picture. Maybe this is coming across as petty. I don't give a fuck. I just want one central fucking location on the world's biggest social media platform where reliable information can be shared about this. Even unreliable information. That's fine too. I'm not into censorship. And I saw somebody posting there saying that we shouldn't allow any of the admins from the other Facebook group in. I disagree. I think everyone should be allowed in the Facebook group. The goal here is to share information about the Karen Read case so the world knows about it. So you tell your friends, you tell 5 friends, and that's how this gets spread. The Grace Curley show, Grace Curley invited me on because all her family friends were talking about it. She hadn't been following it, but all her family friends were telling her all about it. And she was more interested in it because of that. That's how it fucking spread. So that's it. Yeah, and they are disrespecting, but I don't care. I don't care about that. I don't care about disrespect. They can disrespect because this isn't about me. This isn't about me. I'm not having an ego here. I don't give a fuck what they say about me. I'm here for Karen Read. And if you're splitting the two groups, then you're not here for Karen Read. Period. That's it. So that's it. So that's my rant. That's what I say about that. They can do whatever they want. I would welcome Sean on in our group. I have nothing against him, right? Personally, I don't think he's a bad guy at all.
Jeez,
I don't think he's thought through his actions as far as the harm that group is doing to the main goal here. And I think it's become a little bit of the John Gold show over there. And that appears to be what's happening. And that's just my honest thoughts. I'm being honest. I'm not trying to crap on anyone here. I definitely do not want people to be like, turn this into a fucking drama thing. That's the last thing I want to do ever. And I welcome Sean in our group. Because again, I found his insight about crime scenes to be very informative. I really enjoyed having him on for that. I really did. There was a picture posted today in that other group of Karen Read, which was specifically asked not to post publicly.
Brando's
and it was posted in that group.
stubborn.
It was in ours for about 5 seconds. We denied that post. If you try to post that picture, we're going to deny it because they did not have permission to share that. So we're not allowing that picture up because that hurts Karen Read. The other group allows that picture to go up because they don't give a fuck about Karen Read. That's the fucking difference. Seriously.
So again, it was like a whisper campaign, right? That's what they were using that group for. You know, I'll get on there, I'll find some crazy stuff, I'll tell one friend, that friend will tell 2 friends, that friend will tell 3 friends, and then before you know, everybody thinks whatever it is, whatever rumor is posted on there is the truth. And clearly about money. They wanted to use it to generate money, and they wanted control. And when we were talking earlier about those text messages, the signal messages where Karen's talking about this picture that had been posted, you hear him say it right there. And they were trying to get it down. So she was controlling everything.
Day audience
full control of it. She wanted to be able to say, this can go up, this can't go up. So she was the little mastermind behind all of it.
It's wild because we all watched that video at the time because I think we kind of took that one apart, and then seeing now what was behind that, her frantically talking about that photograph, it makes so much sense. And that's what it felt like is a directive from the Queen. So it's interesting.
Yep. And so Sean and Aiden continue their argument. And I'm gonna start at this one. I'm not. You chose to leave. I had no say. We read that. I actually thought you would understand. That's not what's happening.
I've been kind of like going back and forth with him on X. I mean, he's harmless. I mean, he's, you know, not all there, you know, harmless.
Here, this is also one of my favorite messages. I've got several. To be honest, once this project for Karen is done, I am just going to disappear. This is getting childish and out of hand. I've taken a lot of shit over this. I'm not in this for anything except to see a dead cop get justice. So you get all the, and he stops. But again, Sean had made clear in some of the things that he has said that he was brought in for the taillight. That was his project. His project for Karen was the taillight.
Dear Lord, do we know?
Yeah. Yeah. And then he said, this is not about me, but I will bow out for the greater cause. Like I said, my project for Karen is in the final draft. I don't need the aggravation. I was being honest with you. I publicly took the blame for that stupid post and bounced the person. So they're throwing people out, right? They're throwing people out of social media because they're not posting things that are positive for Karen. We have 2 weeks with issues. What changed? And so we've got Karen come right back in on Signal. Oh my God, is that on social media? Again, the control. She's got to control everything. And Sean says to Aiden, I'm not. We banned people for reporting, and people have sworn and have purposely tried to take us down in mass report. I'm not okay with any of this. So the best thing is I write my swan song right now with dignity, and it's all yours. It's kind of I can't help but giggle over
it's so dramatic.
Yes.
Sean always has like the funniest verbiage, doesn't he?
Swan song.
My swan song.
They're trying to recruit
So then
Papa John.
Sean says, Bianca was the one. Don't blame me for things I had no control over. And then Sean says, you said you wanted no part of this. And Karen says,
exactly.
Oh,
This
good.
is all
The
from the
whole crew knows
extraction.
I
Thanks
trust
to
you.
Nancy
Obviously, it's
Lance.
different conversation. So one conversation is with Sean, the other one is with Karen. And then Sean says, give me a list. I will give to Eddie and Sarah, and they will do it, but I am done. Aiden, I'm leaving. I did my part. You can have it all. And again, Facebook groups. This is unreal, the level of drama that went into this. Aiden, you just said you were going to blog or stream me, which he did. We saw him go live. You guys just watched that. Whatever you said, is that fair? I have zero against you. Gave you all kinds of praises right after this mess with the jerk show. And your comeback is to stream this without looking for its solution. And Sean's still very
We'll wrap
upset.
it up in a few
So why
people. I might do a beach live in a little bit. It's really super nice out. It's like 62 degrees.
big push now. Aiden, you created this. I saw how it was planned on that stupid chat. So did you guys hear that? I saw how it was planned on that stupid chat. I think we need to get a hold of that chat too.
Yeah.
But you are right. My guys will not come. How can I convince you? And then we have a picture for this. And so now for sure we know that Peter Murphy is one of these people behind Sean. So you know Peter Murphy. That's what Sean says. Peter Murphy is a former Canton police officer. He's the guy with the oven mitt for the glove that was out there.
Oh, Peter.
Yeah, there's Peter. I think that was Easter weekend, right? That he was out there. That was just recently that Peter was out there. But Peter was behind a lot of these rumors. My understanding is his career with Canton PD came to it was.
Oh no, they're going to put on Peter
Murphy.
Like he was a bad cop.
So Peter might have an axe to grind with CPD. He may have that. You'd have to ask Peter, but kind of seems that way. And now we've got Jenna, and again, another pick. And so this is Jenna Rocco. She is Nick's wife, and she says, did that lady even ask Karen if that pick was okay? LOL. So obviously someone has posted another photo, and Jenna is concerned that maybe Karen's not okay with it. And then Jenna says, I'm wondering if they were asked not to, but I don't think Rita would allow them to, if so. So this has got to be another Facebook group that Rita has control of, right? That this picture has been put into. And so that's interesting too, right? So Rita has, I mean,
Why
like
is
all
it
they have
interesting? Like, who
so much
cares,
control
man?
over that little area, those local Facebook groups, and what is being posted about this case. And so when they say everyone thinks this, well, I wonder why. I wonder why.
And the whole did she even ask Karen thing, remember that weekend, I can't remember which documentary came out, but one of the documentaries came out, or it was Dateline or something, and somebody posted in the main group, and they're like,
speculating,
I just want to check, is this something Karen would want us to watch, or should we not
whenever
watch
it's
it?
done,
I mean,
whenever they think
it's insane. Yeah, and we've got a video of Jenna too. I'll finish these, and then we'll play that video of Jenna. And so she comes back and she says, it's in the old group too. She has said she didn't want to be seen with us. This is a great one, guys. Listen up. She has said she didn't want to be seen with us, which I can understand because we have fundraisers for her. But maybe she thought these people would be okay. So initially, Karen was hands off. She did not want pictures of her and the Roccos anywhere. She didn't want people to know that they were friends because they were generating the money for her.
At her direction.
Yeah.
None of the people she was directing were okay to be associated with publicly, generally.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll
I mean,
wait a
if
little bit.
I was Karen Reed, I would be like, maybe don't show this, don't report that. I mean, it's her life on the fucking line. If these other people want to help, no matter who it is, I would be the same way. I would be the quarterback of what's going on 100%. What do you want her to do? Fucking.
A little bit longer for the video of Jenna. There's some other stuff that comes up here. And
they're not helping
we got
anybody.
Sean back again.
None of
He
this is
says,
gonna
call
come out
Karen
like,
and
no.
ask what she was doing today. Well, we all know what she was doing that day.
Right.
She was stirring shit
This is
up.
all these people, all
so
these antis just hope there's a such thing as triple jeopardy at some point. It's like it's been over for so long, man.
Jenna comes back and says, just curious, do you think Karen sent info about the incident to Sean or someone else did? So Sean, and we think it's that videotape, right? That videotape of
We think it's that video
that never
right?
materialized anywhere.
You guys with me?
That Karen supposedly sent the feds to go track down. And yeah. So then Jenna says, he vaguely told me about that dumb restraining order thing that you knew nothing about. I asked if you knew, and he said, nobody knows. Why doesn't he go to you is beyond me. He was investigating a secret restraining order that a guy supposedly had on Karen. So there are rumors about Karen having a very difficult split with a boyfriend in college. They're rumors. I don't know that they're true, but yeah. So it seems that Sean was trying to find out if that was true or not. And I don't know what they planned on doing with it if they had found it.
That's the part I'm curious about.
Yeah. Yeah. And so Karen
Right,
hops
exactly,
in now on
exactly.
Signal and says to Aiden,
None
it's
of this would
okay.
even
So I'm
be out there if
assuming
it wasn't
it
for
has to do with that
fucking
photo that Jenna was concerned about, the photo of Karen and whoever it was. And Karen sends a photo. And then we have Nick. Okay, so this is where we've got two videos of Jenna. We've got one of her saying some really odd things. And then we've got one video of her TikToks. So Nick is now talking about Jenna's TikToks. Jenna's TikToks are going off.
I kind of don't care
One
what
is just shy of
Roccos. I don't
200,000.
really
It
give a
goes
shit.
up 100 every time you refresh
I
it. So
never
these are
really,
the TikToks
really
that
cared about them. Any
Jenna had posted
You're like the
that weekend. There's also an additional one that's really offensive that I put
play
in
of
there.
Karen
But
Reed.
this is what
It's
she
just
had
like
posted.
they're there. Other people like them.
I
But
fed into her because I was like, oh my God, like, I don't know if he had receipts. I'm guessing he didn't because it all looks bad on Natalie, but
Really sure what Karen was responding to here, but she said, say no to crack. And then we have this.
His ass crack was probably
I
out.
can't remember which show it was in. The one where she got this picture of Brian Albert and his wife Nicole at a football game, And so she sends the picture to Ada Kearney, and she says that is Brian and Coco. 1,000%. Sends a photo at their son's football game. And so we do have, he immediately writes a blog about this, right? So he takes the photo that he got from Karen that she got from somebody else, and he writes a blog. So then she says, the next message is taken from D&E as
This is what they've been
CPC.
reduced to.
So this took me a hot second, but she's actually calling Chris Albert chicken parm Charlie.
Yep.
In that message. CPC panicked about whether the black SUVs were there to take him into custody. No, Karen, that is not at all what happened. I still cannot believe that she wrote this. Like the hysteria that she drummed up. Like now she knows exactly what Chris Albert is thinking.
Yep.
And here she is, you know, promoting this, you know, there's black SUVs, it's the FBI, it's the feds that are coming to take everybody in custody. This is what she sends to him.
That she's talking to people who are like, oh my gosh, yes, just like eating it all up.
Oh yeah.
Knows her audience very well.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then she said, I was thinking that obviously we don't know what that was in response to, but the get out of my town, the quote, that was obviously Denise and Bob. Right. And then Karen says, multiple witnesses in the open front of McCarthy's saw a heavy-set man come out of D&E and chain smoke while he waited for Alan Jackson to exit. He then stood in front of Jackson's SUV in the middle of Washington Street. Imagine these people 5 hours. And so this is Jim Ferris.
Right.
He works for Chris
at
D&E. He is going to suffer the wrath of Karen as a result of this incident.
Anyway.
This is what she claims happened. But her little henchman is going to take care of this for her because he will harass Jim. And so she is sending pics. I'm assuming these are pics from outside D&E, don't know. And then this one, she says center and plaid and second from left. She's IDing people for him. And then she says Denise, Bob, and Tristan Morris. Clearly they're in the photo. And he asks her, it seems like he's pointing to somebody that maybe it's not, because she says, nope, the other ugly one. She's such a kind person. She is. Yeah. And then we have Nick Rocco again, a little more Facebook. Did you see Sean's statement responding to you? Also, the first line, I have a feeling he is insinuating that we are pocketing money. So, yeah, because someone told him, and Victoria have both told him that the 60-20-20 we do, that the 20 is coming to us, LMFAO. I don't know if they're splitting it 3 ways. Where's it going? So if you're doing raffles, somebody's getting 60, somebody's getting 20, somebody's getting 20.
Yep.
Are people aware of that? I don't know. And then Karen, because now remember, she said that ABC, this is what she's told Aiden, that ABC filmed what happened in front of D&E. And so at that time, Adam Lally was trying to get footage from her unaired interviews with Dateline and with 2020. And so Karen says,
Terry, I'm sorry. We're almost done. I won't do it again. Thank you. We're almost done.
Rather smugly, make sure you ask Adam Lally if he still wants all the unaired, unedited footage from ABC. And then he asked, obviously, again, you know what? I have to go back. I bet you there's a blog where all this goes into. And so she says, yes, how do you sleep at night? And again, that was from Denise and Bob.
Yep.
And then here's a quote. I don't know what it's about, but it's Tim Albert once owned a pool.
I think we can assume we know.
Messages. Yeah.
Yeah. And so here we're gonna start to segue into something else as well. She says Reddington still reps McCabe. Actually, I'm not positive he still does. Never mind. And then this one, fucking cornered rat Brian Albert continues to fight us, getting his fucking call log from 12 to 6 a.m. on January 29th. Karen and her team had filed
disgusting swearing
a appeal with the Supreme Court. They wanted Brian Albert's call records.
Yep.
So in those filings, and they're going to become prominent in these messages.
Yeah, and Bev fought real hard that first time to keep him out. And then the SJC said, no, they can have him, but Brian destroyed his phone anyways, didn't he?
The Commonwealth had given more information on what they had as far as their case against Karen. That's where we first saw the 62 feet, that kind of stuff. And so Karen is upset that Brian does not want to give out his call log. He had also intervened, and his attorney had filed something. They never do get his call log because there is absolutely no legal basis for her to get his call log, which is interesting to me, the way, people forget that. People forget this wasn't just Judge Cannoni. This went all the way to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court told them no. So when we're talking about destroyed phones and things they didn't get and whatever, there was no legal basis for her team to get that.
Or the Supreme Court was in on it.
They may have been.
Wait, what? The Supreme Court was in on it. Hold on, people. Hold on.
They may have been.
That makes the most sense.
And then we have to post about the witnesses. So when we say that Karen wasn't involved in any of the harassment that was going on with the witnesses, absolutely into post about the witnesses.
Or the Supreme Court was in on it.
Oh, there it
as
is.
far as their case against Karen. That's where we first saw the 62 feet, that kind of stuff. And so Karen is upset that Brian does not want to give out his call log. He had also intervened, and his attorney had filed something.
Like, oh, he got the phone, but he destroyed. What are you talking about?
They never do get his call log because there is absolutely no legal basis for her to get his call log, which is interesting to me, the way, people forget that. People forget this wasn't just Judge Cannoni. This went all the way to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court told them no. So when we're talking about destroyed phones and things they didn't get and whatever, there was no legal basis for her team to get that.
Or the Supreme Court was in on it.
They may have been.
That makes the most sense.
And then she sends him something. Can you make a post just for this with the football photo? So obviously this is Karen. She wants Aiden to post about the witnesses. So when we say that Karen wasn't involved in any of the harassment that was going on with the witnesses, absolutely not. It's in Aiden's phone extraction that she was very much involved in all of it.
And he was copying, pasting to the blog every time.
Yep. And so Henning is Brian Albert's attorney, and she says, and again, this is about the Supreme Court. Now that Henning has responded, and based on Alan's comment in open court Friday, you can now conclude that we've appealed the denied motion for Albert's phone and gone over Auntie's head. So that's Karen talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he's obviously asking about what's going on at the Supreme Court, and she says no date yet. She then gives him November. November is when the decision does come out for the Supreme Court. I just want to make sure that I'm not missing anything that goes along with these things. Okay. Sorry, guys. And then this is that Meg person. So the Meg person that you saw in the text that we showed of Lucky, this is a conversation Meg had sent to Aiden. She had gotten a license plate off a truck in a video the night that they CERT was doing their search. And so Meg thinks, I guess she's got something, and she's trying to figure out who the truck belongs to, because remember, they said, the taillight was planted. So they're trying to find out who owns this truck that was there. And then she says, now again, we've got it again. Here is Karen. Can you make a post about Henning's opposition? We're literally asking for a 6-hour call log on Friday night when nothing supposedly happened. And Albert is paying a lawyer to fight it at Mass SJC. So again, here is Karen directing what should be published and what he should be talking about. We're back to that truck. And she says, must be police issued. They aren't registered at the DMV. Albert's Ford Edge did the same thing. His civilian car was a Cadillac hatchback, which just blows my mind that she knows what these people drive. Like the level
and creepy.
The level of stalking is just insane.
Do you guys recall the Lucky's initial? It wasn't Lucky's affidavit. It was the PI affidavit about Lucky, the initial one.
Yes.
And he actually says when he was asking Lucky, I'm going off of memory right now, so don't quote me exactly, but if I recall, he asked Lucky what kind of car it was, and he was like, I don't know. And they were in a parking lot, and he pointed to a Ford Edge.
Correct.
So it wasn't like,
yeah,
it wasn't like he.
All right, guys, we're going to wrap this up. I'm probably going to do a beach thing in a little bit. It's going to be short notice because it's so nice out. Yeah. What do you guys think? God, getting texted and called more when I'm live than any time else. Okay, thank you. Okay. All right, people, thank you very much for being here. Shout out to Mo for being a mod for 27 minutes. Appreciate you all very much. And I don't know, you guys, some people have said it might be a good idea to do a beach thing in a little bit. Maybe I will. Anyways, thank you for everybody who supported today. And thank you all the moderators, Growth, Zach, and even Mo, who was here for a cup of coffee. Who else? That was the only couple we had in here today. Oh, Miss Jess at some point for a minute or two. All right, people. Thank you very much. And we will see you soon. Cool. Where is my thing? Okay, there it is.
Yeah. Just entertainment. Yo. I'm the man in charge, triple dip justice, my reach is large, indicting T-Rex arms, yeah, they on display, short reach, big mess on a public way, yo. Adjust your antennas, tune in tight, Posse rules the bench, I'm the law tonight. Be so high, they touch the sky, the joke ain't over, just watch me fly. Just your antennas, tune in tight. Posse rules the bench, I'm the law tonight. Be so high, they touch the sky. The joke ain't over, just watch me.
What happened? What happened here?
So high, they touch the sky. The joke ain't over, just watch me fly. Yeah. Advanced years, wisdom stacked. Try me once, no turning back. James Jackson ordered, case dismissed.
I don't know what that
Strikes,
was.
you won't resist. Order in the court, the rhythm pounds. Justice
Everybody, this is going well. All right.
Prosecutor
Have a great night,
by day,
everybody.
hand by night. Adjust your antenna.